by Phil showing
It's
off
all
all the
weird
free shit
sponsorship.
he has.
I'm wearing my Nintendo shirt, but I purchased this.
I'm recording, by the way.
Hey, look at this.
What's that?
You like your Donkey Kong?
I bought the Mario and the
I don't know,
Zelda
do I?
and Luigi one.
Yeah.
You
I
guys.
just ordered those like 2 days ago from
What
Amazon.
about you like your Fallout? Your Fallout?
What is that?
It's Fallout. See?
Oh, yeah, but
Fallout.
I mean, like,
Does Adrian know you buy that shit?
This was a stocking stuffer, I'll have you know, and so was the Donkey Kong.
oh yeah.
Was it
I
your
may-
stocking?
I may have bought them myself.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So,
Everyone recording?
Yep.
yeah.
Oh wait, no.
So I am.
You mean I have to record?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're recording the backup too.
I'm recording
I'm-
backup.
I'm right here, Greg, at shop.lego.com.
I cannot make my Audacity work
And
with
boy,
my microphone.
is that cursor just hovering over that add to bag. the Firehouse headquarters.
Check
You
1,
know
2.
what, though? I think I'm doing a
Check.
purchase.
What's that?
I think I'm gonna do a PC purchase in the next few days.
What?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right.
Greg, you gotta just build one, dude. Do not.
That's what I'm
buy a
doing.
pre-built
That's what I'm
one.
doing.
Okay, then
Just relax.
I can help you out so you can do it right.
I had one guy give me a suggestion, but the price came to $2,300.
Check.
No.
Pretty
You,
high.
what do you like? $1,000?
I don't even know what my range is, to be honest. My range is something that doesn't make my sphincter clamp up when I see the number.
Are you gonna play games on it or just video editing?
You know what? It's more about video editing and stuff. I mean,
Okay,
games
then
is great,
I
but
You
I
know
can
what?
get you at $800 with a nice quad-core i5.
it needs to be an i7.
Betcha.
No, it really doesn't.
It really does.
That's my fucking job, dude. Trust me, I edit video for my job. You don't need an i7. I know what I'm talking about.
Well,
Save the extra $100 and spend
Kevin.
it on something else.
Kevin, what Greg is saying, is that he doesn't think you edit video very well.
That's all right.
That's- I'm not saying that. I'm just interpreting what I'm hearing, and that's what I'm hearing.
It's all right. Just keep using your. What are you running, a 486?
See, now you got to get nasty. Why you gotta get nasty?
300?
My first computer was a 486, so don't you dare.
I'm sorry. I had a lot of
Speak
caffeine,
ill.
Greg. I didn't mean to be hostile. All I'm just saying is like. I kind of know what I'm doing, and I just don't
I know
think
you know
you should
what you're
overpay. I think you should try to make.
You know what? I appreciate that. Thank you.
I have a Core i5 in mine, and it is super fast. You want to hand over some of that processing work over to your video card. If you can do that with an extra $100 to the video card instead of the CPU, it'll actually do the rendering a lot faster.
What about capture?
Oh, you can capture with like an i3. Capturing is nothing.
I do capture with an i3 though, and it's crap.
Well, today's i3s, you wouldn't have a problem. The thing is, video card, and as long as you don't need to capture and then also convert it into like H.264 at the same time, if that's built into something like your Elgato, it's being done in there. Your processor's not doing it anyways.
Elgato means the cat. For those listening
right.
at home.
Let's get this thing started.
Oh, we were live for
let's
that,
talk
okay.
more. Let's talk more. I seriously want to.
Yep. Just
only
ask
problem
me for
is
help. I will give you all the help you need.
My local recording is not working. I can't make it.
Wait a minute, we're not starting yet. We're just fucking everything up.
Rich, if you share your screen with the Google thing, the Google thing on
I'm
the
gonna
left-hand
stop
side, we might be
recording.
able to walk you through it.
Good.
So should we stop recording?
Yeah, I stopped.
Yeah, sure.
So we'll have like
Okay.
15 minutes of nothing here.
Now we are broadcasting live on YouTube.
That's
so
fine.
don't share
Good.
any.
Can
Oh,
you guys? Can
No,
you
he's
see that?
showing Audacity. All right, perfect. Yeah. Just
Well, there's your problem. You're using Audacity.
So this is my microphone, the C Media USB, right?
Yep.
So I hit record, and you see what's happening. Nothing.
Everyone on YouTube can see all your porn tabs open.
Oh,
Just
Ignore
let
those.
you know.
Did your wife watch this show?
Just
Oh, come on now.
keep talking, Rich.
Right. So I hit record, and nothing happens. You can see that.
Yes. Yeah, nothing is happening. That's,
Yeah, have you tried? This is a dumb question. Have you tried closing Audacity and reopening it?
Multiple
You
times.
restarted your computer.
Multiple times.
Well, now I'm lost.
Yeah, that sounds like Audacity's just not working. You have everything set up correctly.
Right. So if I go change the speakers to this, then I hit record, then it's not recording my
Okay.
microphone. It's recording the show.
Would
Or something.
Right.
Try
It's
recording the
you
show.
guys talking.
right?
Oh.
If you try to unplug the USB mic and then plug it, like close out of Audacity, unplug the microphone, plug it back in, then with Audacity, give that a shot.
CJ, you got the day off tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Saturday.
So yes, he does.
Yes, I
Thank
have
you,
the day
Phil.
off.
But you're the one who asked.
Oh, I appreciate an actual answer.
The actual answer is yes.
Yeah, why?
Because you're going to have to do a lot of editing.
Oh, that's what this is about. Okay.
Did you see my dinosaur?
Dinosaur.
like a
Oh, look at
dinosaur?
that.
Pretty nice.
What's that from?
My son got a classic
Mm.
Lego set, which is just a bunch of colored bricks, which he opened and said, "What am I supposed to do with this?" Anyway, this was one of the designs in there that.
Oh, nice.
Someone is, I don't know, you probably saw that, CJ, but the shadow cat.
Oh, how I don't even know. Like when you start a hangout on air, I don't know how to turn
You
it
have to-
on.
Yeah, you have to do it before you start the Hangout, I believe. But we have the Q&A. Q&A is live, so they can just use the Q&A if they want to go through Google Hangouts.
Yeah.
Add a link instead of YouTube. Yeah, so Greg, just let me know what you need and we'll get you a good deal.
Yeah.
We'll get you some Sony Guts on the computer too. We'll make sure it's quality Sony Guts.
I.e., this fell off the back of a truck. We'll get you a good deal.
No,
I have no problem with that.
You've seen Stavra prices, right? Right? It's good. It's good. Sony Guts.
Wow.
Tom Hanks? Saturday Night Live? No?
No.
All right, how's Rich's recording going?
CJ's got no time for this.
I
He
miss
froze
Greg
the
Ford.
screen, I think. Oh wait. Oh.
Have we talked about that? But Greg Ford's kid is like ridiculously cute.
Adorbs.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how that happened.
A couple good-looking people have a kid, and you get a good-looking
Yeah,
kid.
but yeah.
It worked with me and with only one good-looking person, so...
Thank God for you.
Hey! Wow!
Wow.
What a rude dude.
What?
Better than two crew dudes.
All right. Can you guys hear
That's
me?
not true.
I can hear you.
All right,
Yes.
so I'm
We can
going
hear
to
you.
record on my GarageBand on my Mac. So I'm all set up and running now.
All right.
Hi, Rich.
Okay.
Hi. So I'm gonna.
You could
I'm
just
not
bust
recording
out,
locally. Yeah.
bust out
Dual
your old
computers.
box, pop in a Memorex tape.
Make sure it's not your awesome mixtape 1992.
How did you know?
Mail
It was
mail
92.
mail the finished tape to CJ.
Yeah.
He will.
We've got a
Convert it.
couple of days, so you could do that.
Yeah, he'll convert it to
ready.
WAV file.
Along with a stamped self-addressed envelope.
Well, if you want it back, obviously.
Well, why
I'm all
wouldn't you?
James.
All right, I'm
Okay,
gonna
if
hit
you're
record.
watching
Yeah, I'm
this-
gonna record.
Wait.
I am.
Now.
I am
If you're
recording.
watching, guys, you can just tweet back at CJ, and he'll see that. If the chat's not working, just tweet to CJ if you have stuff, okay?
Yeah, just-
Record.
If you have comments,
Yeah.
tweet to @P1 Podcast. I'll be checking that during the show.
My screen says Rich Grisham is a toolbox.
Huh.
Hey, you know.
He added the toolbox.
Oh, sorry. I'm not
That's
wearing
what
my
that
glasses.
is.
Should I wear my glasses?
Oh,
Should I look
boy.
particularly? Should I wear my glasses for this episode?
Yeah.
I don't know. Should you?
Do you want me to? I can.
want to buy a Lego Star Wars set right now as well as the. They have a couple of the episodes, new episode 7 sets up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have.
Are we gonna? Are we gonna? I mean, this is. Yeah, I really want to sit here and talk about this too, but Rich is leaving. Rich has left. Rich, he got up and left.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying.
Which is what?
What else do we have to talk about?
Has Rich finally gone over the deep? Like, is he just gone off the plan? Like, is he finally?
Just getting another microphone, just continuing to mess around with all this technology the kids are using these days. But I'm recording, I'm up and running, I'm good. So.
All right.
Are we?
I'm recording.
We doing a clap?
Yeah, let's do it. We need to do a clap.
Okay, after this. Prime the pump.
Oh, wait, you want me to do the clap?
Yeah.
All right.
We can do it now. Here we go. Clap! Okay. Welcome to End of the Year, Game of the Year, Year-End Show.
3, 2, 1.
That was terrible. Let's do it.
Lovely. Lovely clap. Couldn't have been a better way to kick off the new year.
God, it's 2016.
Yeah. Yep. How about it?
My outline says games of 2014. That's a mistake.
That's not right.
That can't be right. All right. Hello and welcome to episode. What the? Okay, I didn't do very well here.
Check your outline there.
Check yourself. I keep breaking this dinosaur. My one's going to kill me. Hello and welcome to episode 478 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, January 5th, 2015. This is the episode where we talk
about that?
Favorite games.
Double check that date.
Check that year.
16. Wow.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It just took a long time to edit. It's like the new episode of Generation 16. That's when it was meant to come out. Hello and welcome to episode 478 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, January 5th, the year of our Lord 2016.
I mean, I'm going to be releasing this episode early, so you can
I
say
hate you. This is the episode where we talk about our favorite games of the past year, which, for the record, was 2015.
Yeah.
I'm your host, Greg Stewart. Joining me, as always, is the heart and soul of the Player One podcast, Mr. Chris Johnston.
Hello, Greg. It's great to be here.
How am I doing so far?
Not good.
At least my recording works.
You're at the level of CJ on an off week.
Wow, that hurts. Does that mean you're going to start your top 5 with number 4? Or is that?
Oh boy, that was good.
Bringing us his personal top of the pops from the West Coast is Mr. Phil Theobald.
I like to consider myself the fart and soul of the podcast.
In the wind.
Poop.
Yeah.
And keeping us in touch with the pulse of the millennials is Mr. Kevin Larrabee.
Hello.
He's young. That's the joke. Compared to us.
Yeah.
Other end of the spectrum.
Compared to us, Methuselah's a little sprightly.
Here to let us know what the baby boomer generation played last year. The one, the only, the internet's Rich Grisham.
It's funny because it's true.
Rich
Good to
always
be here.
gets those
So many
90s
fives in his age.
Very
references.
excited to be here. Love this show. This is always one of my favorite episodes of the year, so the chance to be on it is fantastic. Thanks, guys.
Thank you for being here. And thank you, actually, both of you. And the reason they're both here, by the way, is not because Mike isn't here, although Mike isn't here. But, no, because you guys have stepped in so many times over the past year and taken over the fourth and the very short third chair. On so many occasions. Knees up around your ears while you're sitting in that chair.
Especially Kevin, because he is like 7'2".
He is 7'2".
Did you guys hear about this new Muso game? Pretty exciting.
No, but we invited Rich and Kevin on here to give us their top 5s because you know what? They're like family now.
And I mean, like I said, being on the Player One podcast has been my favorite show for years. These end of the year episodes are always great, and so again, I just really appreciate the chance to come on. It's a lot of fun, and I can't wait to start many arguments. I mean, no, not start many arguments. That's Kevin's job.
The thing is, every sports game you bring up, they're just going to go glassy-eyed anyway. Arguments. It's like, all right, checking the watch. All right, Rich, what you got 10 seconds.
What hot topic should we bring up this week that the forums will get mad about? PCs, Fast and Furious, movies.
So yeah, like I mentioned, Mike Phillips isn't here, although he did provide his top 5 for the year.
Yes, he did.
So we will be including that and mocking him accordingly. So every year we do our top 5, but before we do that, we usually do a few other categories. Which we're going to start with this year. Let's just get going because we're already 30 minutes late, thanks to Rich. And
my fault.
Let's just keep moving. So we're going to start with our favorite portable game of 2015. I'm going to be saying 2014 all night. 2015. So these are the games. These are games that we're not talking about mobile games here. We're talking about games that appeared on portable consoles. The Game Boy Advance, the Game Gear, the Lynx, things like that.
Gamecom. Don't forget Gamecom.
Game.com.
All the newest stuff.
Yep.
All the newest stuff.
Yeah. So we're going to start age before beauty. Rich Grisham.
Oh, boy.
We're going to go oldest to youngest. No, we're not, but we're going to start with you.
Well, this was an easy one for a few reasons, but the number one reason, because it was by far my favorite new game, it's Box Boy on the 3DS. I love that game. I don't know if any of you guys played it. It is a wonderful, simple platformer that is charming, and it's easy to start, and then it really takes some very interesting turns. It's also a game that not only did I enjoy just playing on my own, like while traveling, but my son really got a kick out of it too. It's always a lot of fun. It's a theme you'll see with me this year when you're able to enjoy video games with your kids. So yeah, Box Boy, great game. Great price. I think it's like $5. 3DS, eShop. Highly recommend it if you haven't played it. Check it out. It's a wonderful game.
I have never heard of it.
That is a good game.
It is a good game.
And I mean, you guys may have spoken about it. I've never heard of it. But that's cool. That's one of the reasons I like this episode every year, because I end up trying out some stuff that I had never played before. So that's cool. Kevin.
Yeah.
Your favorite portable game of the year?
Oh, this one came out of nowhere. It's also on the 3DS. Nintendo Badge Arcade.
That's it. Told you. Told you.
Killing me.
And I'm only doing this because of your rules of not using the favorite portable game if it's on our top 5.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And let me explain this just for a second, because God, I had some snark. I gave you guys some junk for liking. And I hate free-to-play stuff. I just don't like the...
Free to start.
Most definitely not free-to-play.
Kevin, you're treading on... do not get him started on free-to-play.
I know, but the game itself, it's really not even like the game, but it is everything that surrounds the actual UFO catcher thing that is the game. Because like I was talking with CJ a little bit about this, but I was just kind of blown away by the production quality of what is a free to start game, and that really, actually Brian Davis also gave me some pro tips. Like, you really don't need to spend any money to ever play this game and to get badges.
Yeah.
Like, you get free plays every single time that you log in, and you can go to the practice machine, you can win more free plays, and even like if you answer questions a specific way. Like sometimes the rabbit. I'm going to give you the perfect scenario of why this game kind of came out of nowhere and why it just like was super cool. Is I logged in on New Year's Eve and the rabbit says, "Hey, Happy New Year's! It's going to be a great year." Actually, oh wait, it's New Year's Eve. I'm sorry, but
The writing's great.
the writing's outstanding. and then he goes, "Oh, what should my resolution be? Should it be to eat fewer carrots or to play more video games?" Of course, I said, play more video games. Like, you're totally right. I should play more video games. And you know what I'm going to play? I'm going to play more old video games, like The Legend of Zelda, available on the Nintendo eShop Virtual Console. And I'm like, yeah, like that Totally. You're right.
You want to buy
Here's
the
an
Legend
ad
of
I
Zelda
can
on
get
the
behind.
eShop.
Yeah, I like The Legend of Zelda. That's a good game, and you.
Buddy, speaking my language.
It's like is the microphone turned on? Is like this? Are they listening to when I'm like doing podcasting and stuff? But like it's that. It's like having them do really cool special badges for specific holidays, especially like Japanese holidays, and then having a whole background and like history behind that holiday and why they have those specific badges in there. Like for New Year's Eve or for New Year's, they had like a bunch of Japanese traditional like icons or things that you would give to people on New Year's Eve, and he explained why they were important for Japan and New Year's Eve, and they've been doing that for other games, and then also saying like, we got new Super Mario Brothers stuff in there, and also here's a tip on how to like find this special thing that's in the game, like how to find like this pixelated Luigi in Super Mario 3D World. I'm like, okay, this is really cool, and I only spent $1 because I really needed the Super Mario. Like it was like the last day they had this stuff, so I really needed it. So they got me, and I really recommend like just check it out. Don't spend $1. Just use the free plays and do it to just log in every day before you go play a game on your 3DS. And it's gotten me to like make sure I open up my 3DS every morning and be like, oh man, I want to see what he's gonna say today. It's actually really, really awesome.
So this is the new Street Pass.
I don't know. I didn't,
Because
because
Street
Street
Pass
Pass
had
wasn't
me
something I cared about. This is I actually care about because I just can't believe how much like daily stuff that they have in there that is like really just one-off stuff. Like they actually took the time to do stuff for that come up, like even Christmas. It's great.
They came up with a fun way to, I mean, instead of just selling you things to customize your 3DS home screen with, they came up with a way to gamify it and make it slightly interesting to play.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I got to charge up my 3DS.
You guys
You
are
really
right. No, you should try it out, and I really recommend it. Just if you have a 3DS, it's free. Like my only like downside is it takes a long time to load for some reason. It has to always check your memory card. It takes a long time to load to go into the servers, but I'm guessing it's just downloading. Like, what's the crazy rabbit gonna say today? And if that's what it's doing, take all the time you need because I want to hear what you have to say.
All right. Impassioned. Yeah.
Well,
I can't believe it.
Me neither. Phil.
yeah. Yes.
What was your favorite portable game of 2015?
Well, normally I hate free-to-play. And anything and anyone associated with it.
Wow, strong words.
But this year, favorite portable game of 2015 is Pokemon Picross.
Yeah.
Oh, right
Pokemon
on.
Picross. I as we know, I spent probably 45, 50 minutes complaining about this game before tacking on a quick 30-second, but it's actually really good at the end.
Yeah.
But no, I really dig Pokemon Picross. It is a very large, very full-featured Picross game, and you know I am a big Picross fan. And if you are willing to just accept that it is, not really free to, it's free to start, certainly.
Yeah.
You got it's one of those games that does sort of smack home that the difference between free to start and free to play. Because that game really does expect you to shell out the money for it, but it's well worth doing, and it's an excellent little Picross game. Especially if you're a Pokemon fan.
Have you spent a lot of money on it?
Oh, I shelled out the $30 to unlock it.
Oh, right. We talked about that. Yes.
Yeah. No,
that's the one thing I do like about that I really like about the way Nintendo's doing things is that whole limit, because it's otherwise you get into that situation where it just feels like you're being preyed upon.
Right.
And,
Yeah, and it's basically Rusty's Real Deal Baseball was the same way. Another excellent game.
Wonderful game.
And one of the few times you're going to hear me praise a sports game. Rich.
Hey, we'll take what we can get. We will take what we can get.
That was another game that had a finite spending limit on it, and and this one does as well. And yeah, like I said the week we discussed it, if this game was released as a retail title for $30, I would buy it in a heartbeat without any second thoughts. And so it's the same here. It's well worth for Picross fans, and especially if you are a Pokemon fan as well. It's totally worth the $30. So there you go.
All right,
There you
CJ.
go.
I am
favorite
going to
portable
say Majora's Mask 3D
Really?
on the
Is
3DS.
that just because
Yes.
that's what you happen to be playing when you made the list, or?
Maybe, but but I think this remake, kind of like Ocarina of Time 3D, they improved the graphics. They make use of the new Nintendo 3DS C-Stick, which is awesome. The graphics are even a little better than the Ocarina of Time remake in this one. The frame rate's better.
Mhm.
And they've added that the journal, the bomber notebook that keeps track of everything happening in Terminus, and that helps a lot too, because the game, the game itself is just really hard to keep track of every.
Oh, that was
thing
the key
goes
problem
on,
with the
because
game when it came out on the N64.
You're replaying the same,
Yeah.
72-hour period. So everything about it is great, and Nintendo added this little hint system into Ocarina of Time had it too, but Majora's Mask evolves on it, and really, it's not like telling you what to do, but it's giving you enough of a hint to nudge you in the right direction. Even on stuff like heart pieces and other things in the game, they give you like a still image of where the piece of heart might be that you might want to check. I think Majora's Mask 3D is an excellent remake, and the 3DS really needed it. So
It's hell of a launch too. When the new 3DS was launched, they had that in Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. That was a hell of a launch for that hardware.
Yeah.
Yeah, great remake, and a lot of people didn't play it on the N64, right? I mean, it only sold something like 3.5 million copies compared to Ocarina of Time's 7.5 or 8. So, it's well worth playing as you're waiting for Wii U Zelda this year. If you've not played Majora's Mask, pick that up.
Do you really think Wii U Zelda's coming out this year?
I do.
Okay.
Do you really?
We could have a whole other show on that.
Yeah.
My portable game of the year this year was kind of like, it's such a switch from last year, because last year I was singing the praises of the 3DS and the Wii U, and this year a little bit of 3DS stuff, but like I said, I mean, I haven't played my 3DS in a good month or two, and my Wii U is it's been a kind of a bare year. I know there were some games, but
There are some great games on the
no,
Wii U.
there's nothing that grabbed me. Not in a huge way, but anyway. That being said, my portable game of the year is 3D Outrun. That is the game I spent the most time playing on a portable system.
Worthy game.
That was
Yeah,
my honorable mention.
There you go.
For this category.
It's not new, obviously. It's like what,
Nope.
from '86 or something.
But it sure is great.
It is. It remains one of the best racing games that's ever been made. And it still feels just as great as it did 30 years ago.
Yep.
So when it came out, in the great 3D game series that Sega's been releasing on the 3DS for a couple of years now, I mean, oh my God, it's Arcade Perfect Outrun, plus it's in 3D, plus it has all those great bells and whistles that M2 adds to everything, and I just for a sort of nothing little game for like less than $10, couldn't do better. Couldn't do any better.
If I were you, I would have just put those all together, because they released Sega's 3D Classics Volume 2 in Japan, so you could have just included that whole volume. I mean, Streets of Rage 2, Sonic 2, and also that crazy racing game that you love so much,
Power Drift?
Power Drift as well,
man.
on that card. So
I really hope that comes out here, because I really would like a copy of that game.
it
Yeah,
is.
same here.
It is coming.
Sweet.
So-
Power Drift is coming out here?
Yeah, they're bringing all the Volume 2 stuff from Japan.
Oh, good.
It's
Good.
it's funny that I'm crazy about. I've never played Power Drift, but I just
It's a
want
cool
a copy
looking
of it. Yeah.
I played it a couple times back in the day. The old Aladdin's Castle arcade at my mall growing up had one of the big sit-down units that shook with the screen and everything. So yeah, it was pretty great.
You can get a good Sega Ages version for your Sega Saturn for like $40 if you.
Yeah, that's the one I want to get. Eventually.
Toggle all those switches.
Oh yeah, you can do that, can't you? So okay, that's cool. Let's move on to our mobile game of the year, game of 2015, which we hope CJ won't just turn into a big commercial.
Yeah.
Do I have a list for you?
It's hard to pick just one. I mean,
Can I just pick a portfolio of games?
Oh man.
Rich, let's start with you again.
Another easy one for me. This one is Her Story. I'm a sucker for these kind of games. When I say these kind of games, I mean something that is not traditional.
Oh.
I really enjoyed it, and it does a lot of interesting stuff in a number of ways. A couple of quick examples. Whenever you start to feel like, all right, I don't know what keyword to enter next or what path to go down, she says something that gives you another keyword. Like, they do an excellent job of of making it easy to keep on going instead of feeling really stuck. They also do, it's a little, cheeky how, if you search for certain keywords, like, she'll in the interview she'll be, man, you're obsessed with this. Come on, why do you keep asking me these same questions and stuff? And then you also realize that, it's a bigger thing than you think it might be at the start. Not, the plot, but just actually what you can do in the game, behind the computer and stuff like that. So I loved it. I didn't necessarily love everything about it, but I love the fact that it exists. I love the fact that it was like a $4 or $5 game. You know what I mean? You knew what you were getting into. You bought it, and boom, you had it. So yeah, Her Story was easily my mobile game of the year.
That's a game I need to go back and give another shot. Because I tried it when it first came out, but didn't really know what the hell was going on.
Yeah, and it's kind of the thing where you need to go into it accepting that, right? Like, yeah, it's pure discovery, right? And some games do a better job with that than others, but again, I knew going in that it was that kind of a game, right? So I was like, all right, I'm not going to know what's going on. I'm just gonna accept it, and 2-3 hours in, it's the kind of game too where when I'm not playing it, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, oh wait, I wonder why that was like that, and then I start to realize, I probably should have been paying attention to times and dates, and wait, I wonder if that thing she said means something. I guess so. It stayed with me too when I wasn't playing it. So that's another thing I really liked about it.
So you realize you're just a big fan of full motion video games from 1990.
Hey, Night Trap, all the way, 100%.
All right, just making sure you were aware of that. Kevin, your favorite mobile game of the year?
Well, it's funny. Like, I don't really like mobile games that much. I don't play a lot of stuff on my phone, but when I was out in Japan, I was hanging out with Kojima-san, and he was telling me about a game called Frame.
He was on vacation?
Yeah, he was on vacation. He was just taking time off, and he was telling me about his favorite game of the year, and this is actually from last year, but I know I'm breaking the rules, but I'd played it this year, and I never play mobile games, but it's a game called Framed, and it is basically like a comic book strip, and you have to rearrange the comic book strip so that you can successfully avoid people that are trying to kill you, and to get to where you need to go. And it just has incredible music, a beautiful art design, and again, for someone that never goes to his phone to ever play games, sitting on a plane and playing that for 2 hours straight was something I did not expect, and it's I picked it up when it was free for a weekend. I would have happily paid $5 for that game, and I would highly recommend people go check it out. It's really good.
I want to say that this game was either Mike's favorite mobile game last year or one of his top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Cool.
Be
Okay.
smart.
It's a really good
Smart
game.
guy. Philip,
Yes.
your favorite mobile game of 2015?
Pac-Man 256.
Why
Pac-Man
didn't I
2.
think of that?
Are you adjusting your list right now?
I never played
yeah.
that, actually.
Oh, really?
Oh.
It's really
Great
quite good. It's from the Crossy Road people.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of an endless
Endless Frogger?
endless Pac-Man. You're just the constantly scrolling maze going upwards. You are trying to avoid the glitchy collection of letters and numbers and mishmashy symbols from the 256th stage of Pac-Man.
Right, kill screen.
You've seen the kill screen. Yes, it's basically the kill screen is encroaching on your gameplay space, so you have to keep moving forward through the maze to avoid it, and there are obviously all sorts of ghosts in your path, different groups of ghosts with all sorts of different behaviors and that sort of thing. And it is a very simplistic type of game, but that's what you want. Simple and addictive for your mobile games. So
Cool. Yeah, I didn't. I played some Crossy Road, but I didn't check out Pac-Man.
yeah, check it out. It's really quite a bit of fun. So,
And it's free.
and it is free.
To start.
Free to play?
I mean,
to start.
no,
Yeah.
it's free to play.
Yeah, you know what though? Because it's one of those ones I forget how it works. Like you can only play you can play a couple times. And there's like an energy meter to refill or something like that.
Correct.
Okay, but you can also pay, and it's not terribly cheap. It's like
$7 or $8
terribly cheap, relatively. Yeah, it's like $7 or $8 to remove that little time counter, which I actually I did spend the money to unlock it because
I did that too.
Yeah, it's worth it. It's quite a bit of fun.
Yeah, and hey, if it's a game that you're really enjoying, why not?
Well, that's just it.
Pay
Exactly.
a little bit for it. Games shouldn't all be free. Come on, man. This is people's livelihood.
Yeah.
Right. Just saying. CJ,
Yes.
I know you don't play mobile games.
Not at all. Jeez, well,
You
let
only
me tell
get
you about
one. You only get one.
fine catalog of what
Oh.
one. All right, so
One.
not counting the Adult Swim games because all of those are instant classics.
Amazing. Yes.
Which one's your favorite of those games?
I thought Monsters Ate My Metropolis this year was my
Good
favorite
game.
of the bunch.
Now,
that
which
game
one was
really
your least favorite?
I don't have a least favorite.
Glance.
But so not counting those, I am also going to say Pac-Man 256
Yeah.
for similar reasons that Phil's mentioning. I mean, it's a classic mechanic. It'd be interesting to know how soon after Crossy Road came out, Namco Bandai contacted the Crossy Road devs and had them start working on this. I mean, as soon as it was announced in the summer that they were doing this, I was like, oh my gosh, like it makes so much sense. It's brilliant. So I was very excited about it. Downloaded it immediately and started playing it. Bought the $8 unlock for that. And I've been having a lot of fun with Pac-Man 256. My runner-up is Lara Croft Go. So,
Oh yeah, I
very
gotta
close.
try that. That's getting tons of praise.
Lara Croft Go is an excellent platform puzzle game for mobile, and it is a premium paid game, so you don't have to worry about free-to-play stuff in it. And it looks beautiful. It's great.
Cool.
All right, I gotta check that one out. Keep me.
You really do. I thought that would have been that would have definitely won this category with you.
Tell you,
if you had played it.
Yeah, I haven't spent a lot of time on mobile games this year, and honestly, my choice is based on a recommendation you made halfway through the year or whenever this game came out, and that was Horizon Chase.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that was just, I mean, that game had me written all over. Considering my portable game of the year was 3D Outrun, Horizon Chase is basically Outrun. So it was just fantastic little racing game. And I've tried a lot of racing games, and there are some good ones for iOS and Android, but a lot of them aren't that great. Like you're making you're sort of conceding that the control's just not going to be very good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But Horizon Chase is actually really fun to play. It controls really well,
Yep.
better than I expected actually, and it looks amazing. It's
Yeah.
got a
And
great
actually, you know, if
aesthetic.
you have a Bluetooth made for iPhone controller, you can play it with a gamepad.
Did not know that.
Yes, and it's coming out on PS4 pretty soon, so
I did know
you'll be
that,
able to play
yes.
it on console.
Yeah.
It is a great game. The developers who did it are super talented.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's awesome.
And I mean, it even you know, because it goes sort of that sort of really gaudy Miami Vice style color scheme, which I honestly don't have a whole lot of patience for anymore. But didn't bother me.
And I gotta say, releasing a premium game in 2015 on mobile
Ballsy.
is virtual, you know, suicide. Like, you're not going to make anything on it. I'm glad that they appear to have made at least a little bit on it and are bringing it to other platforms so that more people can play it, because it is a really great game. I think it's only like $5, if that. It might have been $2.99. It's seriously worth it if you have a mobile device and love classic Outrun style racers. Yeah, you can't go wrong with Horizon Chase.
So go check it out. Don't wait for it to be free, you cheap bastards.
Yeah.
Moving on. Our next category, before we get to our top 5, is our digital game of 2015. So this is games that came out in 2015, digital only, didn't get a physical release during this year at least. We're mainly talking consoles here, although we can include Steam. Yeah, Rich.
The Forza Horizon 2 Fast and Furious.
Yes!
My man.
It was great, despite the tie-in with the movie. It was fantastic.
Oh, wow.
Dude,
You drove a stake right through Kevin's heart.
I'm gonna text Vinny, and he's not gonna be happy to hear that, man.
Vinny D.
I mean, and I know you know at least CJ and Greg, you both played Forza Horizon 2. I don't think
yeah.
Bill did.
I did too.
I don't know if you did, Kevin. Okay, but I mean, Forza
Love that
Horizon
game.
2 is one of the best games of 2014, and Fast and Furious DLC just brought it back bigger and better. I loved every minute of it. I 100%ed it, and it's great. Whatever the Forza and Horizon guys do, they just have that perfect formula of racing and fun and accessibility and
Music.
speed and danger. Music, absolutely.
Perfected the open world
Visuals,
racing game.
Yep.
So yeah, Fast and Furious. You know, it came out for free, and then I think after a month it went up to like $10 or $15. It's totally worth it. Loved it.
Oh my god, as a free download, like the
Yep.
content you got was unbelievable.
Yep.
For
It
that.
was spectacular.
It's like if you added, Dwayne The Rock Johnson to an already incredible franchise, and it just
Exactly.
elevates to a whole nother level of, unbelievableness. And that's like, you're totally right. Like, Forza Horizon 2 is the best racing game since Burnout
Yes.
Paradise.
Oh,
I
no.
smell what you're cooking. There's a little
Yep.
bit of bullshit in there, but for the most part, it was
So that was mine.
good
Yeah,
answer.
Another
Rich.
easy choice. Another easy choice.
Why we
That's a
keep
great
back.
choice.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was actually a really hard category for me because I have been playing a lot of stuff on Steam, and of course, the PlayStation Vita is one of my favorite consoles, and I don't know if you looked, the store shelves are not packed with retail releases.
No.
So if you're going to be using that thing, it's probably going to be a digital download, and the indie lineup for that thing is really good. And this game got a lot of flack this year, but I really loved it, and even more so, the unbelievable soundtrack that accompanied it, and that's Hotline Miami 2. A lot of people did not like the additions to this game, and basically the increase in difficulty, but for a game that is incredibly difficult, that forces you to go through a level over and over and over again. Like, you might have 100 attempts in a level before you actually make it through there. I played the crap out of this game, and it is very much like Framed, when I have these long flights to overseas, and you just want to burn as much time as humanly possible, this is a game that you can get sucked into, and then you'll just like look up and you'll just notice that you haven't blinked for an hour and that you've only made it through 3 stages. You can kind of just get lost in this game, and I really, really, really liked it. And if I can do a runner-up, I won't talk about it, but Ori and the Blind Forest is something I put about 3 hours into now, and that's a game that, take this however you will, but within the first 5 minutes of the game, it almost had me in tears.
I really need to play that as well.
Yeah, it was on sale on Steam, and I picked it up, and I've loved everything I played so far of it. I just was not able to finish it for this show, and I finished Hotline Miami 2. So that is a game that I just cannot wait to spend some more time playing. And God, that is another game that came out of nowhere. It's just absolutely beautiful. Even if you don't think you'll like the aesthetics, like, go check it out. It's a great, great game of the 3 hours that I played so far.
And it's like a Metroid style game, yeah?
It is, but it's way more straightforward. You're not having to like necessarily search around. They're much more forgiving on save points. Like, you can earn saves, so you can pretty much save like every couple minutes, but it's like a risk reward thing, so you're kind of giving up some of your attacks. And then also it's much more streamlined, so you're not like at risk of getting lost. The thing that I have problems with Metroidvania games is like, I don't want to waste 30 minutes thinking, all right, where am I supposed to go next, and like just having to retrace every single room that I've been in to see if this item can apply to something. I hate that stuff, and this game does not do that. It just has, again, great art design. It has just the music in it. I bought the soundtrack. The music is incredible. And it might be the soundtrack of the year, along with like Hotline Miami 2 and a couple other games. But like, I swear, if you feel like you picked this up for like $10 on Xbox Live or Steam, and you feel like you got ripped off, I think you are like really in need of getting some medical assistance or at least some psychiatric help, because it will grab you, and it's really, God, it's just a really, it's like Fern Gully-esque in terms of its touchingness. I haven't seen that movie in a long time, but that's the first thing I thought of when I saw this game. So check it out.
I honestly, if we had started the show and you told me you were going to use Fern Gully as a reference for how good a game was, I wouldn't have believed you. Phil.
Yeah.
Your favorite downloadable game of the year?
Well, did you ever see Fern Gully?
Fern Gully 2, you mean?
This is
was it like Showgirls, or
it's a little it reminds me a lot of Rockadoodle, if you've ever seen
Rockadoodle,
or a Troll in Central Park, perhaps. Actually, my favorite digital game of the year is Roundabout.
That's cool.
For the PS4. It's also on PC as well, and Xbox One, from No Goblin.
Mm-hmm.
This is, I talked about it on the show ages ago, but it is essentially an updated version of the old Nintendo GBA game, Kururin? Yes.
That never came out in America.
Never came out in the U.S. Although, was it Irritating Stick? That
Yep.
was kind of like it.
I believe so.
Was Irritating Stick
No.
did not have that mechanic? Wasn't there a game released over here that had that sort of mechanic?
There was, yeah. I think it was one of the mini games in We Play, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. The mechanic of which I speak is you have basically a rotating stick that it's constantly spinning around, let's say clockwise, and you need to maneuver it through a tight maze without the stick ever touching any of the sides. Usually there are obstacles in the way, bumpers that can switch the direction of the stick.
I'm looking at CJ. He's just dying over there.
Just go ahead. Get it out.
Just the way you said tight maze. Good.
It's a maze. Your rotating stick.
You're such a child.
Yeah.
And I'm the youngest one on the show.
Yeah. And Roundabout takes that type of gameplay and just adds this. Actually, what it reminds me of, and You know, I'm already comparing it to a game that never came out in the U.S., but now I'm going to compare it to a game that was never actually released.
Good job, Phil.
Dueling
Paint that
Fireman
picture.
for the 3DO. If you've ever
Yeah, nobody knows anything
played
about Dueling Fireman.
Kuruin, and if you've ever not played Dueling Fireman, then let me tell you, you're gonna love not knowing anything about what Roundabout is. Basically it is a just bizarre, goofy comic adventure. It's got
Like listening to Phil's picks for the year.
over-the-top, cheesy, full-motion video intros. The premise of the game is that you are controlling a rotating limousine, and it's kind of a crazy taxi type thing where you pick up people and travel by rotation through a city to take them to their locations, and it is just it's a fun game. It's bizarre and hilarious, and it's a lot of fun.
Agreed.
So I'm getting. Have you played it?
I have, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought I was the only one on the show who has played Roundabout.
No.
But it is hilarious and awesome. So, and if you've not tried it, give it a try. So
Download Irritating Stick.
no,
What?
no, you fool.
Well, let me tell you about this game, Fishing Resort.
Let me tell you about Fishing Resort. Holy beans.
What's your
Go
pick,
on.
CJ?
Oh, okay. My pick is King's Quest.
Mine as well.
The developers, The Odd Gentleman and Activision, trying to bring back the Sierra brand. And I had never played any of the... Well, I shouldn't say that. I played, I think, King's Quest 3 or 4 on the Apple IIgs back in the day. Never...
The Perils of Rosella?
Never got very
To
far.
Ares Human. Yeah, go ahead.
Never got very far in it at all. And graphic adventures in general aren't really my thing.
You're not alone in not getting very far in King's Quest games.
Yeah, but I really liked this one, and it was in part the writing, which was funny throughout.
Christopher Lloyd did an amazing job.
Christopher Lloyd doing some of the voice acting, and a couple of other names, right? Is
I'm
Wallace
sure all the
Shawn
other
is
actors
in
had
there,
names, yeah.
and Zelda Williams, I think, is in there too. Anyway, but the game was really fun. It didn't overstay its welcome. It was maybe like a 2-hour long, 3-hour long chapter to kick it off. And the graphics are great. I thought the story was great. I really enjoyed playing it. And so that's my top downloadable. The only drawback on it is the speed at which they're putting out additional chapters.
Yeah.
And with a game like this, you kind of want to sit down and go through it. And when like the chapter 2 came out 5 months later, it's like, I don't remember a damn thing about the story.
Well, that's just it, right? And I mean, that's the big pitfall of these games, because where you're in the middle of a story, you want the player to be able
big
to...
Pitfall game came out in like the early '80s, dude.
But that's
Um,
why with any of these episodic games, I always wait until it's finished before I get them. Not for the money, because it might save a little money, but just because once I start down the path of one of these, I want to be able to get through it. I mean, I loved the first Walking Dead. I didn't start playing it until I knew the whole game was there, and I loved, what was the one, the fairy tale based one? I forget the name
Wolf
of
Among
it.
Us was
Loved
very highly
that.
rated last year on this show.
Absolutely loved it, and waited until it was fully out there so I could do it. King's Quest is the same thing. I'm going to wait until it's out there all the way, and because of exactly what you said, CJ.
Yeah,
See,
I did go on. I bought the season pass.
Mhm.
It was on discount, I think, during the holidays. So that'll give me all 5 chapters, and who knows how long it's going to take for all those to get out. But I think I will wait and play them much later.
Didn't I? And I was
Chapter
thinking,
1.
but I think there's a chapter that you only get by buying a season pass.
Yes, that is the
Yeah.
epilogue. Yeah.
So, this was my pick as well. for all the reasons CJ said, and even despite the fact that it took 5 months for the second episode to come out. So we should finish the entire series sometime in 2017.
Though
But
honestly, the Odd Gentlemen being like a small indie team, they did
sure.
the Misadventures of PF Winterbottom before this. I mean, they're a small team, so it's understandable that it would take
and
a long time. But
considering they're a small team, man, this is an accomplishment because
yeah,
I remember talking about this on the show back when the first episode came out. I mean, it's fairly lengthy for an episodic game.
yeah,
And it's what you would have expected Telltale games to be by now. Like there are even a fair amount of action sequences in this game, along with sort of the standard adventure game wander around, click on this, click on that, listen to the description. Fair amount of action sequences, and they all run beautifully because they're not stuttering every 5 seconds.
yeah,
Which, no offense to Telltale, because they make some great games.
yeah.
They've made some of my favorite games, but I mean, this just sort of came out and it's like, look, here's what these games could be if they would just invest in updating their engine. So
The unfortunate thing is I don't think this got a whole lot of press.
No.
Second episode, the second chapter definitely didn't.
no, it just kind of came out and no one even talked about it.
I feel like this.
I didn't even realize the second episode was out until right this minute.
Yeah, it came
It's been a
out
few
in
weeks.
December 15th. It came out. But it's a shame because this is a fantastic game by a really talented group of developers that should not be missed.
Yep, totally agreed. So when the whole season is available in a Steam sale in 2017, pick it up.
Buy it.
So that covers my downloadable game of the year. So we've got 2 more categories to get through before we get into our top 5s. I'm going to bring the show down a tiny bit here, and we're going to talk about what disappointed us. What was our biggest disappointment?
Oh, we're not going to do those other 2 categories?
2015.
We cut
We're
those
going to
off?
do those at the end of the show.
Okay.
Way to break the fourth wall, Kevin.
Yeah,
Nice.
way to go,
Yeah.
Kevin. You will not be invited back.
Sorry, I forgot to suspend, the illusion that we're putting on here.
We don't know our listeners are there. Come on. It's just safer to assume that there are no listeners.
Yeah.
Less chance of you being wrong. Biggest disappointment of 2015, Rich?
Well, for all of the things that this game did right, I have to say Lego Dimensions is my biggest disappointment. Spent a lot of money on it, a significant amount of money.
As you will do with those games.
It was the big Christmas present,
That adds
and,
to it.
and it isn't very good. It's not bad, but like it looks great. Like the production values are fantastic. The Legos themselves are really cool. Certain things that you can do are fun, like how you can, move the characters around and do stuff. But actually playing the game, the controls are clunky. I don't know what to do half the time, and it's just not a fun game. Yes, sir, Phil.
Have you played a Lego game before?
I have barely ever played Lego games.
Oh, okay. Well, there's your problem right there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
are you guys not getting sick of the Lego games?
Well, I'm not because I never played them
Well,
before. So.
I'm saying, like, if
Are you not getting sick of the Fast and Furious movies?
Oh,
no,
snap.
because they're not boring video games. Those are boring games. Where
Wow.
like high octane action 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds. And there's tanks. Like it's not like like Lego games. Like that's how they watch it.
Yeah, but I will say, like for example, the Portal level. You guys know
I have not been there yet.
huge fans of Portal. It was everything about it was great except actually trying to execute the game. So again, I'm not saying it's a bad game, but for me it was definitely disappointing. I just wanted it to be a lot more fun to actually play, and so
You were expecting
that
something.
was it. What's that?
You were I'm just saying your expectations were different, not wrong, but you've said you don't have a lot of experience with Lego games, so I know for me, I knew exactly what to expect from this game.
Right.
And going into that, I found it actually really enjoyable, and it comes back to, Rich, something that you and I have talked about a ton this year in general, is that my son in particular absolutely loves this game.
Right.
And so you know what? I can see the warts for sure. Like,
Right.
I agree with you. It's plodding. It's glitchy.
Yes.
And it can be a little bit of a pain in the ass, but he loves it, and I love playing it with him. So
That's awesome.
great
There
for
you
me.
go.
And I
Yep.
got to build a little Simpsons car. So
Look at that.
Yeah. Well, I do have. I've
little
got
bent.
we haven't opened up the portal one, but I got the Simpsons level yet to do.
Nice.
Got the back in the future level
Yeah,
yet
I've
to
got
do.
that
So
one
we're
waiting for me as
we're
well.
gonna keep plodding along, like you said. But I was hoping it would just be something that would be like a couple of the games I'm going to talk about later in our list. Just was just hooked us right away, and it wasn't that.
No, it's
I
a
will
Lego
say-
game.
I will say, my favorite thing in the game so far has been the Doctor Who
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
Yeah.
Gave my son nightmares.
Oh boy.
Those
Yeah.
angels, oh my god,
Doc-
that is a spooky level.
Weeping
Yes,
Angels.
Is that an add-on level, or is that just the Doctor
it's-
level in
That's
the main
story
game?
mode.
It's in the game.
Okay.
Now, Greg,
hmm
have you actually? I have no idea. Do you actually watch Doctor Who? Do you have any
No.
sort of? Do you have no?
Oh, it's so good.
You have no reference for like those actual angels in the show.
I've seen that episode.
Okay. Okay.
I've seen the first episode.
Don't
that had
blink.
Weeping Angels,
Yes.
which was amazing. And honestly, I will sit down and I'm kind of trying to decide which Doctor I want to start with. It's probably going to be David Tennant because I tried the previous Doctor. I tried some
Eccleston?
of those episodes.
Yeah.
Didn't like him at all.
Okay.
Don't like him.
Yeah.
He
Go.
grows,
Go.
man.
Yeah. Yeah. He definitely grows on you, but Tennant is a very safe choice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
but going back to the actual level, like he
Yeah.
thought it was really cool, and I thought it was really cool. You
Yeah.
told me about this, Phil. Like
Right.
the way they use the angels in the game, brilliant, just brilliant. I mean, really, even sort of outside the box for a Lego game,
Right.
for sure. And the writing, I love the writing in the Lego games personally, and all the the sort of fast-paced, frenetic Doctor Who, like his dialogue in the game.
Right.
Where he's sort of right just neck deep in the wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff.
Which
Totally over my kid's head. He had no clue what was. I'm
Right.
sitting there laughing, and he's like, I don't understand. He was like, Daddy, I don't know what's going on. Like
Right.
he didn't get it. It wasn't funny to him.
Right.
But I
Well,
loved it. So
is it Matt Smith who's the Doctor in the game?
Peter Capaldi.
Oh, good. He's awesome.
Yes, indeed.
sorry, we started going on about all the great things about.
Rich's most
Rich's biggest
disappointment.
No, I totally understand.
How you're wrong.
Yeah. I mean, you're wrong, but it's legit.
I'm cool with that.
Yes.
Kevin.
Hey guys, what if I told you there's going to be kind of a pseudo sequel / spinoff to the Game of the Year of 2013? All right, it's great. I can't wait for it. All right, so this game comes out and we get like a pretty decent look at it. We get to do even like a beta, online beta, and we get to try it out a little bit. But then when it comes out, we find that the game's really not finished. Okay, and also the online experience leaves a lot to be desired, and it's exclusively, well, not exclusively online game, but if you really want to get what the game is all about, you have to play it online. I mean, that doesn't sound as good, but that game is The Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes. Like, you're coming off of A Link Between Worlds, you're running it on the Link Between Worlds engine, and, Totem Time sounds good when you see it in the trailer, but yeah, it sounds like a blast. Like, I would like to stand on someone else's shoulders and then have someone stand on my shoulders to flip a switch. But what happens is with this game, you first off, like I said, they did not complete the game. Like, the game came with such little content to start off with, and then they've, you can say this as a benefit or not, they've added more content over the last couple months for free. But again, this is the thing I hate about physical releases today, when you basically are kind of stuck with if I wanted to play this game in a couple of years locally, what if I don't have those downloaded? What if I don't have those downloaded things on the hardware that I have? I don't really have the whole game. So I think that's a terrible trend right now, and unfortunately,
That's not going away, by the way.
No, I totally
You
understand.
sound like a man who needs to buy a Coleco Chameleon.
Okay. That's very true. But I mean, that was kind of like the main issue with it. And then the problem is, like, I picked this up earlier in the week, and then the first game that I go into, like, me and one other guy, we're like on the same page. It's great. And then one other piece of crap keeps just like stopping, like he's griefing us, and he doesn't want to proceed. And we're like, he knows what to do. Like, he knows what to do to the point where he's like grabbing us, and then he's throwing us into pits to kill us. I'm like, how are you having fun doing this? So that was the very first online game that I played. Then, this is the other side of the coin, I play at like 5 a.m. this morning, and I get together with two guys, and we are just gelling. Like, we all are cool. Like, we are on the same page with everything that we're doing. Like, we're, mind melded, okay? So we even get to the point, like, we get to the Triforce at the end of the level, and, like, I start charging up my sword, and I, like, angle it in, and then, like, they like, oh yeah, we know what's up. So they charge the sword, and the other guy charges the sword. So we all have our swords charged.
Sounds dirty.
Level.
This is CJ's kind of thinking back to the tight maze. Get all your swords charged and pointed at each other, eh?
But okay, so
Triforce is
Charging
power.
up and
okay, so again, it could be a
Like
really
almost
cool
a
game
note of time.
if there were three things. One, I think there should have been an option. I love the 8 icons, and I think that's really cool, and it almost leads to like, oh man, it's awesome that they understood what I was talking about when I was like hitting item and throw. Like, they understood that. That was really cool. But having optional voice chat would have been great.
No.
Yes, it would. And also having some kind of feedback system so pieces of shit like the guy that I was playing with yesterday would not have the ability to continue to do that to people, because it ruins the game, because then you have to quit out, and then you have to deal with having to wait, because you don't just jump into games immediately. And this game's selling a lot. Like, you have to wait like a couple minutes sometimes to wait for 3 people to get into the room. So that was, again, it's just a bummer, because Link Between Worlds is one of the best video games of all time, and it's kind of going off of that game's coattails and that game's engine. And I think it was just one of Nintendo's more lackluster titles of the year. And I want to still play it. Like, I want to play it, but I have to like line up times with CJ and Brian Davis, and we have to like all like figure out when we can all link together and make this happen. So
I see what you did there.
yeah, so it's just a bummer, because it is, again, there's just so many great components to it. It was just a real big letdown to see it not come together. And I've also had a lot of connectivity issues with the game too. So
Yeah.
it's a bummer, but like Between Worlds, you can still replay that.
It's true, and that was a great game. Philip,
Yeah.
biggest disappointment of 2015.
Biggest disappointment is
Your students?
Rise of
Oh, sorry.
the... Oh, they're fantastic. They're all great. Rise of the Tomb Raider being Xbox exclusive. That's my big
Yeah,
disappointment.
fair enough.
Because I have heard nothing but great games about that. Great games about that thing.
Right.
I've heard great
And they
games
would all
about
be
that
cool.
thing. But I do not have the means to play it yet, so I will not get to play it. Apparently, it's not coming out on PS4 until next Christmas.
Yeah, something like that.
So
which is
yeah,
insane to me.
yeah. So a year from now, I can try that out, unless I want to. I guess the PC version's coming out beforehand, but
3 weeks.
oh, is it really that soon?
Yeah, which makes sense because I mean,
I don't know.
Windows. But
Yeah, but yeah, that's my big disappointment. Just not being able to play a game that I've heard so much good things about, and as we've discussed on the show before, it seems like that exclusivity was kind of a misstep, just in terms
yeah, I wonder
of
if it's Square
sales.
Enix's biggest disappointment too.
Yeah, really. So there you go.
CJ, biggest disappointment of 2015.
My biggest disappointment is a little guy named Chibi Robo.
Oh,
How
how could you be mad at that face?
I can't be mad at this face. I mean, the amiibo of Chibi Robo is fantastic, and that is not a disappointment. But the game that came along with that, Ziplash, is a disappointment, in part because, I mean, Chibi Robo, they were trying to resurrect interest in this character after the GameCube game, which I thought was an amazing little game. They've tried to do a couple of things since then that haven't really worked, and this is just another one of those things. And apparently somebody said, or there was an interview where the director said something that this was like the last chance for Chibi Robo to gain some popularity, and it completely fell flat. I don't think it's sold well at all. So that's my biggest disappointment, is that the game's not good. Chibi Robo is going to be going away and potentially never coming back. So,
what if CJ, you and I can team up maybe, and we could say our biggest disappointment this year would have been like just kind of the slew of half-baked Nintendo releases, because there was a couple outstanding ones, but I think with this and Triforce Heroes, not Yoshi all the way, but it seems to have been some people that did not like Yoshi so much, but it seemed like there was a lot of attempts to just like get games out there. The Animal Crossing stuff that came out this year, just a lot of half-baked stuff to fill up the calendar.
I think what we're seeing is Nintendo trying to do two things. One thing is like clear the schedule with games that maybe have been in development a little while and just push them out the door even if they're not quite done to get them out. And Nintendo switching focus, right? I mean they've got to like focus on the NX. So
Charge Shot.
Yeah. Oh well.
But at the same time being said, I think they have some of the best releases of the year on their hardware still from them. So
you got to give them credit. I mean, they were throwing a lot of things at the wall to see what sticks.
Absolutely.
And I mean, Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, yeah, it's not for me. But I'm sure there are Animal Crossing fans that loved the hell out of that game. The same with Happy Home Designer. It's not a game for me, but I'm sure there are plenty of people. I know there are plenty of people in Japan who loved that game because that was pretty up there on the charts.
So wait, I'm confused. Was it a good year for Nintendo or a terrible year for Nintendo? It seems like it was both. It can't be both.
It was both. It was both. It was both.
There was such, for me, it was just that there was such high highs and such low lows, because there, again, with...
Wait, a new Lolo game came out?
Man, that would have been great.
Yeah, Lolo 5.
Oh my gosh.
NX exclusive. But, you're... Again, yeah, Rich, I know it might sound like kind of dumb, but I think it was just because it was just like with Xenoblade, Splatoon, Super Mario Maker, like some of the best games of the year came out from Nintendo.
Right.
The other thing, though, like, we think of Nintendo as making only awesome games, which has definitely not been true.
But it's never been.
I could have told you that back in 1991.
They've always had, clunkers,
But
people forget about that. But
around Wii U and 3DS, I mean, they're really the only company making content for that system outside of like,
that's right.
A few Japanese RPG publishers that bring things out. So
You're right.
I think they have increased their output in part to cover the shortfall of no other companies bringing anything out. So
and I'm being totally serious here when I say this, but you guys like you're living what the Sega fan went through, because that's exactly how it was.
That's exactly it.
With like the Genesis for a while, and with the Saturn, and to a point with the Dreamcast, although they killed that off really quick. But the Saturn in particular, Sega's lineup wasn't amazing on the Saturn. It had some amazing pieces. There was some crap.
I'm not trying to be snarky here, but
they had to cover everything because no one else did.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems to me like the Wii U doesn't have a tremendous volume, and the 3DS does. I mean, it just seems like if you bought a Wii U or if you bought a 3DS, you've got an astounding catalog of amazing experiences. Sure. Just because you don't get one a month or one every 6 weeks, you still got more than you could ever possibly play. I don't know.
There was a guy where I work who he just started there, and we were all sort of having a conversation about the Wii U, and he was sort of along the same lines. He has a PlayStation 4, and he said, like, is a Wii U, I think it was when Xenoblade came out, so is the Wii U worth getting? And that was pretty much exactly how we put it, Rich. It was just like, you know what? Now, yes, it is, because there's a good enough library on that console that it's worthwhile if you haven't played any of them. But don't expect a bunch of great new releases every few weeks. It's not happening.
And I apologize. Like, I don't think that was my point. That's the last thing I'll say. Is like, I think it was just because I felt like they were just kind of like shoveling stuff, like just pushing stuff out there to fill in. Like, we need to have something come out in March, so we're going to push something out. And that's my only problem. And CJ's right. Like, they're just kind of like changing focus right now, and that's all it was. It was just like, for me, it was just kind of like something I didn't like seeing, and I didn't want to bring up like, it was the worst Metacritic year ever for Nintendo or something like that.
Well, I mean, the other thing is they have to look at the changing, their changing consumer. I mean,
yes,
you've got players that are used to mobile games now, and traditional genres aren't doing as well. So, I mean, they're trying to mix up their product offering. I mean, you can't really blame them for trying. They're trying to work all this stuff out.
But not only blame them. Aren't you, CJ, as a huge Nintendo supporter, wouldn't you rather have them realize that the Wii U is not going to be what the Wii was and focus on making the NX spectacular? I mean, isn't that what you want them to be doing? It certainly is what I want them to be doing.
But
then if they had spent the last year and a half or 2 years doing nothing on the Wii U, then I wouldn't be as interested in the NX. And thank God they didn't.
Right, they didn't. They've done enough to make people who have purchased that platform feel at least like they haven't been ignored, but they're clearly
they didn't waste their money.
The bulk of their resources on the system because they probably can't afford to have two in a row that don't hit the numbers that they're supposed to hit.
Yeah.
So this conversation is great. We're going to move on.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Because we still have our top 5 to get through, and I still have my disappointment, which isn't going to generate nearly as much conversation, which is Project Cars. For me, that was the biggest disappointment this year, which, Rich, I was actually on your show with Dodd.
Yep, you, me, and Pete.
Talking about this, and at the time, I actually recommended the game. It definitely had some issues when it came out. Some of the physics were crazy, but I said that there is a really good game hidden in there. You just have to dig around and find it, which I absolutely meant when I said it. But I learned in the ensuing weeks and months that good game is buried so deep that it's just not worth it. And so, yeah, I had major high hopes for that game. I was a little bit on the fence for a long time because it was Slightly Mad Studios, which it's a crowdfunded game. Slightly Mad really impressed me with Need for Speed Shift, then really made me worry about them with Shift 2, and I feel like they haven't come back from it. I feel like Project Cars was a disappointment. I hear it's actually made money for its investors, which is nice. That was actually a thread on NeoGAF that I read. But overall, and especially in a year where Turn 10 released what has to be the best game they've ever made. Yeah. And Drive Club ended up being a lot better after it went through its initial issues. So Project Cars even had more to live up to, and then it just didn't.
I love racing games, and I mean, I even love racing games that aren't classically great racing games, and I could not play Project Cars. Just couldn't do it.
No. Nope, me neither. So that was mine. So we have one more category left to go before we move into our top 5s.
It's going to be a long show.
It is going to be a long show, and it always is. So
true.
Every year we talk about, because we all have kind of lengthy backlogs, some of us more than others, and we always end up playing a lot of games from previous years through these years. So what I'm trying to say is, what is your favorite game that you played this year that was not released this year? Rich.
Well, good. I'm glad you said instead of last year, right? Because I think it was originally your favorite game of last year you played this year. Because that would have been a different answer. So my answer
Thank Kevin for that, because Kevin was the one who suggested that.
Thank you, Kevin. My answer for this year is Fire Emblem Awakening. I just adore that game. I love it. I'm on like the final chapter. I don't even want to finish it because I don't want it to be over. I just love that game. I mean, it's scratched an itch that I didn't know was there. These kind of games, haven't really played a whole lot of them, although I can recall certain games, very different kind of games, but that felt the same. Like, way back in the day, there was a game called Panzer General, that I loved. It was a turn-based strategy game. And Fire Emblem Awakening, I just way at the top of this list. Love everything about it. I don't even care about the story and the characters. Like, in fact, it's kind of a little weird to be on a plane playing the game and people next to me watching some of the cutscenes and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'm that old dude watching Japanese anime on a plane. But anyway,
it's boring.
But I love that game. Absolutely loved it. Spectacular game.
Fantastic game.
That's my choice for this list. Now, had it been last year, I was gonna say Return to Castle Wolfenstein or Stein. I can never get that right. Or not Return, but Castle Wolfenstein: The New Order.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I played some of that this year, but I'm glad that was my answer because I don't love that game. It's okay, but it's really bleak and depressing, and I'm about 8 chapters in, and I'm not sure I'm going to keep on playing it. I recognize that it's really good, but it's just hard to keep pushing through. Just thematically, it is so oppressive. So I'm glad I was able to talk more about Fire Emblem Awakening than The New Order.
Sweet. Good choice. We kicked off this category with a bang. So now, Kevin, keep it going.
Yeah, this was a hard decision. It's Persona 4 Golden. Let's be real. It's one of the best.
I am shocked. I did not see that coming.
It's one of my top 10 favorite games of all time, to the point where I have purchased Blu-rays of the series. I have it had led me to love a rhythm game just because it's based around the characters, not because it's really a good rhythm game. And it is just, you guys have heard me talk about it a lot, so I'm not going to talk about it really at all. I would just say, if your name is like Greg, like, you should probably try it out, and you should get through those first 5 hours, because it's like if you ever wanted to like go on a roller coaster, right? You have to like get to the top of the hill before you get to the really fun part. You don't just like start the fun. You have to go up the hill, and then you can have that descent into just pure
Madness.
Bliss, like just pure craziness, tons of fun, amazing story, fantastic music, some of the best characters in the history of video games, and just a fantastic localization that the game should be praised. And I just pray to God, please God, have the NX also have Persona 5 on it so I can play that on a portable system. Please, like, that is a game that needs to be on a portable, because just there's so many reasons why I cannot spend 100 hours sitting in front of a TV these days. So that's it. And the runner-up is, I have to mention it, just because I've been playing it the last week or so. Why has no one yelled at me to play this game? It's Metal Gear Solid Rising Revengeance on the PC.
Oh, yeah, right.
That game is...
I watched you play some of that.
Oh my God, do I love that game. Like, it doesn't stop being awesome. From the action, how good it makes you feel, way better. Like, I liked Bayonetta 2, but this is on a whole nother level of just making you feel like you're always doing something great, and it's easy to parry, and then you are always giving the ability to go into slow-mo, and you rip dudes' spines out, you squeeze their spines, and you absorb their life.
Wow. Whoa. Okay, yeah.
Calm down there, Monster Energy.
It's okay.
I'm worried.
It's okay. It is awesome. Like, it's just really good, and the script is hilarious. Like, the characters are funny. There's so many callbacks to like Metal Gear that are just so great. And God, just go, like, it was on the Steam sale for $7.50. I'm like, I've been looking at this game forever, and I finally picked it up. Get it, play it on PS3, play it on PC. It runs at 60, and it's a blast. Get it.
Good stuff. I still have never played that game, but I have the lava lamp. Phil.
Yes.
Best game you played this year that was not released in 2015.
Rogue Legacy. PS4.
God.
Rogue Legacy. Do I need to talk more about Rogue Legacy?
CJ.
It's really
Yes.
good. I really like Rogue
It
Legacy.
is really good. I'm not
It
gonna
really is.
argue that.
Yeah, Go
I
on.
wouldn't play it nearly as much as you have,
That's
but
okay.
it's really good.
That's okay. It is.
CJ.
All right,
for
the best game I played this year that was not released in 2015 is a game from 2011.
Wow.
Yes, I think it's 2011. Yeah, that we actually just did an episode of Back in My Play about. It's Ocarina of Time 3D, which I
Pretty
had
good.
played a little bit of, never finished it. I had like a save that was, halfway through. I restarted completely, replayed Ocarina of Time, and finished it 2 or 3 days ago.
Nice.
Yeah. So, awesome game throughout. I mean, in that game, the ending, I mean, we talked about Skyward Sword being a slog where they had you do those tad notes or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, such a terrible ending to that. Whereas Ocarina of Time has that Ganon's Tower or Ganon's Castle that does like little short callbacks to each dungeon that you've already been through, but adding like new twists to them that are really awesome. It doesn't outstay its welcome at all, and it feels like a good ending finale to the game, and I had a blast with it. And you can listen to that episode of Back in My Play right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, wait till you finish listening to this episode of Player One Podcast.
Well,
Then go listen to that.
of course.
Come on, man. We all love Kevin.
Yes.
Let's keep our listeners.
Okay.
My game actually it came out in December of 2014, but I didn't get a chance to try it until 2015, and I really ended up enjoying it. And that is Xeodrifter.
Oh yeah.
That's a great game.
Yes.
What's up,
It came
Jules?
out on
Jules
PS4
watching?
in 2015, so yeah, it counts.
Yeah, I guess it does. Yeah, but I played it on the 3DS, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was just I had been hearing about it in passing, and then I think it was on sale at one point. And I follow Jules Watcham on Twitter, and I think it was he who actually tweeted that it was on sale. So yeah, what the hell, I'm gonna give this a shot. Really great little Metroid style game, with a nice pixely aesthetic, which I know is getting a little bit old at this point, but it still really works in that game, and it just had tons of fun with it. It was like the perfect from start to finish, perfect length of time. It wasn't overwhelming, but it wasn't super short at the same time. Challenging, you had to do just enough backtracking. It was just everything I really wanted in sort of a very, almost say for me anyway, like a casual sort of Metroid experience that I could pick up and play for a few minutes and then put back down. And when I finished it, I just was totally happy with the entire experience. So I was really glad that I ended up picking that up. It was really on a whim. It was just like I didn't have anything to play at that particular moment. It was cheap. Picked it up. It's like
I've never
a
heard of
steal
it.
even at full price.
Never heard of it.
Do you have
Really?
PlayStation Plus? Rich?
What's that?
Do you have PlayStation Plus?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It was you probably have it because it was a PlayStation Plus game a couple months ago, 3 months ago.
Yeah, if
something
you
like
just
that.
automatically download stuff, you've got it. So you should check it out.
And it's
My
great on the
fridge.
Vita. It's beautiful on the Vita.
Oh,
Yeah.
good to know. My fridge is bursting, so I had to turn that off.
So yeah, that was mine. So with that, we are finally into our top 5 games of 2015. So before we start, Phil already knows his role. See, normally Mike announces for our Spanish listeners, but he's not
True.
here. Who's going to take over that role here? I can't because I'm Canadian. I don't know Spanish.
I'm happy to do it. You just need to give me a minute to Google what Spanish for number 5 is.
People don't know how to count to 5 in Spanish. Come on, man.
Okay, I got it.
All right. So, with all that said, thank you
Yes.
for listening thus far. We're into the meat of the show here. Our top 5 games, individually, top 5 favorite games, 2015. Let's start with Phil.
Number 5.
Numero 5.
Very well done, my friend.
Not bad. Not
It's like,
bad.
I'm not even looking at the Hangout right now, and it's like Mike's right here with us. So, for doing such a good job, and really because you've been going first in every category, Rich, you're up first. What is your number 5 game of 2015?
Okay, so just so everybody knows, these will not. I only have one sports game on the list. If you want to hear my top sports games of the year, go listen to the Press Row podcast that episode. But I do have one. It is not at number 5. I will say at number 5, I've gotten quite a bit of heat for talking about this game in such glowing terms, but I unashamedly love this game. It's Need for Speed. I have had and continue to have an absolute blast playing the game. It is silly, but it's incredibly fun for me, and I love it. And it was one of those things where I played it for 10 hours through the EA Access trial. Mm-hmm. And maybe that's why I sort of had a good attitude about it going in. But after the trial, I bought it, and I kept on playing it. And, again, it's the sort of thing where if you go into it the right attitude, like, yes, all the cutscenes are probably silly, and, it's not a technically superior racing game, but it's just a lot of fun. Like, there are great technical racing games on the market. This isn't trying to be it. So, yeah, for me, it's Need for Speed. Love it.
If you want to talk about the superior racing, you want to talk to Kevin.
Right.
He's the guy who knows all about. Sorry, go on. Go ahead.
Oh, that's it. Need for Speed. Silly, fun, silly, big fun. That's really how the 3 words I would use to describe it.
I have to say that I avoided Need for Speed like the plague this year because I've been burned way too many times by that series. And we had you on the show, and you were talking about how much you liked it, and I thought you were just a crazy old man. Which is not untrue. But post-Christmas, that game, the digital version of that game, was actually $30.
Ah.
And you were so passionate about how much you enjoyed it that I was like, you know what? For $30, I'm going to give it a shot.
All right.
And I totally agree with you.
Oh, good.
It's not amazing.
No.
It is solid. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's no Forza Horizon.
Nope.
But and you know what? Great drinking game. Take a shot every time there's a fist bump.
Oh, they are
drunk within
everywhere. And they are always wearing the same clothes.
Yeah.
Always. They never change clothes. I think they're homeless.
Humming.
But how can they have these amazing
Well, they're
clothes?
pouring all their money into their vehicles. That's why.
Yeah.
Anyway,
you guys are out of touch. In my underground, we fist bump all the time. Like, why is that weird?
In my underground, I'm drunk all the time because I'm taking a shot every time you fist bump.
I'm glad to hear you say that, Greg, because I've had some people say, "Oh, we agree with you, Rich." Still, I've had some people say, "Rich, you cost me $50. I hate you." So,
Well, no, I will say, if I'd paid full price for it, I probably would have been disappointed.
Yeah,
but I paid
and that's why I qualify it in 10 different ways, right?
Right.
But we all find our fun in different games, and this game I had a ton and continue to. I still play it. I'm having a lot of fun playing it.
It's surprisingly, it's so far a decent pick up and play game.
Yeah, you can get in for
a lot of
20
travel
minutes.
Involved.
Yep. Well, no, you use the fast travel, dude.
I never use fast travel.
Oh, you have to. You have to.
Yeah.
Driving to every objective is it's a bad idea.
I mostly just want to go to the diner and see what the gang's talking about.
Of course.
Really,
Absolutely. Yep.
Spike, man, is he ever going to learn? Let's move on to Kevin's number 5 game of 2015.
Number 5 is Persona 4 Dancing All Night. I put like 14 hours into a rhythm game, and I would say half of that has probably been story. Going through just the crazy story in that game, and like I mentioned before, it's not a really good rhythm game. It's great to have a reason to bring those characters back together for them to just interact again, and then to deal with just a crazy situation. And Rise, that is like the new character, is actually pretty cool and has like cool abilities. And the main draw to that product right there is really the characters and their interactions. The story is not like crazy good, but it's just fun again, get them back together. And also just building on top of an already outstanding soundtrack from Persona 4, the remixes are really, really great, and they're a blast to play.
Persona 4 soundtrack is outstanding.
It is, and
Yes.
I just highly recommend if you have any affinity for Persona 4, I would check it out. The rhythm game is very, very, very basic, but it keeps me attentive enough to keep playing it and to keep going back to it, and it is just a really weird ass product. So I'm happy to support more Persona.
Nice. So it's a rhythm game, but is it an RPG as well? Is it just a
No, you're
new version
basically
of Persona 4? Or?
so you're basically having like dialogue between the characters. So you're having these cutscenes between the characters that will then lead you to the battles, and you are in this world where physical attacks do not do anything. So you have to fight them with the emotion of your dancing and singing, and that is what kills the shadows.
Like a Michael Jackson video.
It's if you want to think of it as like Moonwalker, for when you hit like the C button and he spins around and he flings his hat, and that's
Feels a little more like Captain EO, but I think you're still on the same.
EO.
So it's pick it up, and it's super cheap now. I guess it didn't sell super great, so if you want to grab it on Amazon, it's been going for like $30, which is
Nice.
a great deal. Go check it out.
Or $80 in Canada. We're going to throw Mike's number 5 pick in here. Mr. Mike Phillips sent us his list, and his number 5 pick was Star Wars Battlefront. Which I was actually a bit surprised. I don't know why I'm surprised, because Mike likes him some multiplayer. But, yeah, Star Wars Battlefront.
Well, when he was on the show recently, didn't he talk about how he hasn't even really... I seem to remember him not even going on about the multiplayer. It was just he was digging it as a single-player game.
Because it's Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
Pew pew. Pew pew.
Pew pew.
Yeah, dude.
Phil!
Dude's such a nerd. He's just like anything Star Wars, he'll play it, whatever.
Right off the Big Bang Theory.
Masters of
Probably
Terrence
even-
Kazi, yeah, sure, I love
Probably
it.
even like the new movie.
Hey. But CJ, you finally saw, right?
I did.
What'd you
What
think?
time?
I liked it. I liked it a lot. Well, we can talk about it next week, maybe. Do
We'll
like
talk
a spoiler
These
cast
days,
or something.
all business now.
I know, right?
It's getting late. Philip, you're number 5.
Yes. My number 5 pick is like Rich. It's a racing game. 3D Outrun.
Nice.
Nice.
Yep. It is
Fun
that
game.
good. I friggin'
agree with
love.
that.
I've always loved Outrun, and this is like the definitive version. I don't know. Would you say so, Greg?
It's that, or that's the Saturn re-release.
Yeah, I mean, it's
pretty arcade perfect.
I
For
don't use
someone that's
3D
owned
a lot.
3 Outrun machines, it's arcade perfect and better
There you
because it
go.
has the toggle switches too.
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
use 3D a lot on my 3DS, but the 3D does look really good in that
does.
too.
It says a lot about that game, I think, in general, too, because racing games are kind of one of those genres that's always been dependent on technology.
Mm.
You know, when a new console came out, you always had a new racing game. And
True.
really, when you go back to a lot of those games, they don't hold up. They really
Right.
don't hold up, and Outrun does.
Yes, it does.
Outrun's as good now as it was when it came out. So,
Yep.
good pick.
Thank you.
Siege, your number 5 game for 2015.
Well, my number 5 game is a number 4, and that is Rock Band 4.
Mm. Always with the 4th chapter.
Yep.
Yes.
Glad to do it.
Glad to have Rock Band back. Glad to be able to play all of my DLC on the Xbox One. And I now have over 500 tracks in there, and that's without
All of the DLC?
Oh my God.
that's without the exports from Rock Band 1, 2, and Lego. So those are still to come in January.
But CJ, it is all of the DLC?
All of it, yeah.
Wow.
CJ,
Impressive.
that 6-string behind you, have you actually picked that up since Rock Band 4 came out? Or did that kill your guitar rocksmithing and such?
Do not pay attention to the 6-string behind me. It has not been used in a long time. It really
is not White Tiger.
I have learned that my musical ambitions need to be limited to 5 colored keys. Yeah, so Rock Band 4, though, really, really good. I thought it was a great evolution of the franchise. They're trying to make it a real platform, and they have been releasing weekly DLC since it came out. So I'm happy that's back. Playing it
Sweet.
regularly. Yeah.
My number 5 game, because Rich didn't pick a sports game, I'm technically going to, I guess, is F1. No, not NASCAR. F1 2015.
You and Dr. Ken,
Yes.
who is the other hit the pass racing guru, both love this game from a technical standpoint. Like you guys have both just said, as far as the actual racing, that's the best racing game you guys play.
Yeah, and that's really like I love when Codemasters took over the F1 series. I really enjoyed what they brought out. But then if you were following those games, you watch them kind of deteriorate, as sports games tend to do. You know, the engine gets old, and they're just bolting on new bits and pieces every year for a yearly release, and you just watched it kind of get to the point where the final game that was released on the PS3 and the 360 was a reskin of the previous year. 2014 was a reskin, and they skipped the first year on the new consoles, and so my expectations were a little bit low for 2015, and then it came out, and I fell completely in love with that series again. They just, yes, the feature list was quite truncated, as again you see in sports games when they come out on a new console, the first run, but the gameplay, fantastic, just fantastic. The way it felt was exactly what I wanted out of that series. So, good job on Codemasters, and yeah, I was kind of I was humming and hawing about the top 5 because there was a few that I had sitting near number 5, but when I really went back and thought about it, I just had so much fun playing F1 2015.
Awesome.
Cool.
Let's move on to
Number 4.
Numero cuatro.
I love it. Rich, you're up.
I don't know how much we want to talk about this yet. One of the things I was a little concerned about, because I have a feeling I'm going to name a couple of games on my list before the proper Player One podcast members enter. But number 4 on my list is Super Mario Maker. Absolutely loved it. My son, I mentioned, my son really is into games that let you build levels and design things. So I had a feeling that this would be up his alley. It wound up being more up my alley than his. He liked it, he played it, but I found myself kind of going back to it. A lot of the complaints that some people had about it, I actually found it to be its strengths. I like the way how it leads you on. It doesn't throw a whole lot at you. You can't do everything all at once. I like that. I didn't really go a lot towards downloading people's traumatically difficult levels. That wasn't a fun thing for me. I know that's where a lot of other people found fun. I just thought it was a beautiful game that was the kind of game that I didn't think would ever get made by Nintendo. So I really appreciated everything about it, the creativity, the freedom, the different ways that you can experience it. So that's why Super Mario Maker is number 4 on my list.
Nice. I assume it's going to show up on film.
Yeah, that's why it was a little. You know,
you're taking the steam out of it. Yeah, good job.
Yeah, my
Who invited this guy?
Well, we needed someone who could speak Spanish.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, I take it all back. I take it all back.
Kevin, your number 4 game for 2015.
My number 4 is a number 3. And that is Just Cause 3, specifically on the PC, because, you know, the console ports are a little on fire right now, very much like the carnage that I have left behind on the islands that I've been trying to liberate. So
I get it. That was
it was a long journey, but we eventually got there. So with Just Cause 3, it is just it is my kind of just crazy, over the top explosions with and it gives you the tools to do incredibly fun stuff, and it doesn't really worry about the story. Yeah, sure, you're liberating this island, this country from this, you know, stereotypical dictator, but the missions that they've set up, and this has never really happened in a game. It doesn't happen for me in Grand Theft Auto and like any other open world game. The side mission stuff is actually really good. Like the stuff that you do in the helicopters or the wingsuit stuff or even like the driving stuff, like when they have you do driving stuff to just get bonuses, like you'll get new equipment and new abilities and stuff like that. They set these like driving sections up so you're like going over crazy ramps and you're just doing just ridiculous stuff like flying over hills, and you have this incredible air control, like unrealistic air control of the car. But it is just top to bottom great, and I've been going back to it like literally every other day and just doing like 2 missions and closing it out before going and playing something else on the PC, and it is just, it's a blast. I just really hope that they can update and patch those console versions to kind of clean them up a little bit, at least just the load times, because even on the PC with like an SSD, the load times are kind of ridiculous for that initial load. But check it out. It is it's still worth picking up, but maybe if you're on the consoles exclusively, I would wait, because like CJ, you were saying, like up to this point they really haven't patched it up to where like they fixed all that stuff. So
that's the reason that because I have a game as well on the PS4, but that's the reason I haven't even bothered touching it, because I just hear that it's so broken. Hopefully they fix it though. Either that or it's a Steam sale next year.
Yeah, build that PC, man, and you'll be good to go. It runs great on the PC. Unfortunately, I can't believe they just, like, that was almost across the board. The console ports for a lot of this stuff were kind of not where they should be.
Yeah, we'll talk about building a PC later. Mike Phillips' number 4 game of 2015 was Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, which I can't speak to because I've never played it.
It's one of those games where you wander around and find out things about what happened.
Yeah, Mike would pick something like that.
Yeah, I played a little bit of it, but stopped when I fell through the world, and
CJ
glitched out on me a couple of times. So I was like,
got crap all over his pick.
CJ's condescending description really gave away your opinion of it there.
No, I mean, I think it's an interesting
great game for people who suck.
I need to go back to it actually, but I ran into some bugs and hampered my opinion of it. But anyway,
Philip.
Yeah.
Number 4 game for 2015.
Splatoon for the Wii U. A fantastic little. Oh, look, there it is. Kevin Laraby's holding up his copy right there.
Sealed, brand new, ready to be played.
You should open that up. It's a fun game.
My Wii U's not going to come till Monday, so.
Oh, okay. Well, you should open it up and read the manual.
Huff that new game smell.
Wait, what manual?
Exactly. But great multiplayer shooter. Not typically a genre in which I become too invested. But this one won me over with its style and just cute, accessible gameplay. Great variety of weapons, really nice, quick multiplayer matches, get in and out, and like I said, the aesthetic is fantastic. It's got that kind of Jet Set Radio vibe going on.
Yeah, it's a beautiful game.
But with the squids. So, it's great.
That's exactly how, describing that would make you sound completely crazy.
What?
Picture Jet Set Radio, but squids.
Yes. They're a little...
with a lot of shooting.
Kuruing in there.
Some irritating stick.
Did you ever play this 3DO game that was never released? Seriously though, get over to YouTube and look up Dueling Fireman for 3D.
No, don't look up Dueling Fireman because you're gonna find something that's not a video game.
Make sure safe search is on, please.
Yeah, safe search on.
Come on, it's got Rudy Ray Moore in it, for crying out loud.
Oh, now I know why you care. Okay.
Dolomite himself.
Dolomite.
That's right, Dolomite.
CJ, your number 4 game for 2015.
My number 4 is Until Dawn. This is
I was waiting for this to show up.
An interactive drama / survival horror game for the PlayStation 4. Originally, it was a PS3 game that was designed to show off the Move controller.
Is that one of those games where you walk around and trying to find out what's going on?
Exactly that, Rich. Exactly that. Well, the game starts off. You see this group of 7 teenagers in this cabin in the woods, and
Go on.
these 2 twin sisters
It's getting better and better.
Go on.
tragically tragically plunged to their death. And
Spoiler
then the
alert.
game
Seriously.
the game
I
fast
said no
forwards.
spoilers in the email.
The game fast forwards a year, and for some reason, everybody is being assembled back at the cabin because why not?
Of course they are.
It's a 1-year anniversary, and things start happening, and teenagers start dying, and you have some control over whether they live or die, and it is basically the best version of Night Trap that I've ever played.
Yeah.
I've heard.
It's got me
Sorry,
written
go
all over it.
It is super exciting. The way that it uses the motion control of the DualShock 4 is pretty excellent, where you have to keep it still during some tense scenes. The soundtrack is great. The branching narrative is awesome, and as you uncover parts of the narrative, it shows you on a grid like what you've seen and what you may not have seen, so that you've got some replay value there. It's just a really fantastic game. Unlike anything I've played in a long time, and I hope they do a sequel. And I guess they're doing a PlayStation VR version of Until Dawn,
That's rad.
which will be interesting. But I hope they do more with this because I think it turned out just so well. And
Nice.
if you've not played it and have any interest in survival horror whatsoever, I highly recommend you pick up Until Dawn.
I've heard it's the best Quantic Dream game ever made.
Oh, come on.
I didn't say it. I'm telling you, I heard it.
Well, don't spread stuff like that. You know not to spread stuff like that.
No, I'm not. It's not meant to be an insult.
I
Well,
think
maybe an insult to Quantic Dream,
we
but
talked about it on the show. Like, without the games from Quantic Dream, I don't think this game could have been made. And this takes it to a different place than what David Cage has been trying to do with his games. And I think it's great.
All started
more
with
of that.
David Bowie and Omicron. We made it.
that's true.
Dreamcast exclusive.
That was his first mistake.
Mm.
Good choice, CJ. That is one of those games that I wish I'd found time to play this year, but I didn't. But I definitely have to
Go back and play it. It's so good.
get it done. Get her done.
Good streaming game too, Greg, if you want to stream it, man.
Yeah,
I'll watch that.
if my computer didn't crash every time I tried to stream, I would. My number 4 game of 2015 is Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I really ended up liking this game. Phil, you and I had a big discussion about this game back when Ground Zeroes came out, because you and I were both similarly disgusted by
Right.
the way that ended. And
Yes.
I had already pre-ordered this game, and you know what? It's still Metal Gear, and I was still going to try it, obviously. And open world Metal Gear, I was not totally sure was going to work.
Mhm.
And man, does it work!
Really.
Yeah, I'm really dig this game. I'm having the same issues I always have with open world games, which is not necessarily a negative thing, but I'm getting way too distracted with what are called in this game side ops, where I don't really forward the story because I'm so busy, rescuing prisoners all over the map and that sort of thing. But it just feels fantastic. It looks fantastic. Yeah, I like everything about it. I like the gameplay, and I love building up the. It's got that great element where you're building up your mother base. I know that you have to pay for forward bases and stuff later, which I never really ran into, but even that, I love. Getting back and seeing how the base is building up, and also the effects that putting together a bigger team actually has on the gameplay. So yeah, I just really dug that game. I don't know. You did play it, right?
Me?
Yeah.
I have it. I have not booted it up yet.
Damn.
I just
And you're a big Metal Gear fan.
well, that's just it. And I've heard lots of really good things about it, and I still just kind of can't be arsed to do it. And every time I'm start to think like, oh yeah, maybe I'll load up Metal Gear, then I start hearing stuff about the oh, there's this whole kind of base building mechanic, and I'm just like, oh, that's
Yeah, they totally messed with that stuff towards the end. Like in the last couple weeks and months, they're ruining the game right now for people.
Yeah, and it's like that sort of thing doesn't interest me, and then I kind of start to let that go, and oh, maybe I should throw it in, and then it's like, oh, and the base thing actually is kind of a big deal, and it's kind of a trap to do free to play stuff, which you know.
But the thing is, and I mean, I didn't finish the game, so I don't know how bad it does get. But I played dozens of hours and never ever even got faced with a microtransaction situation.
Okay.
And you can play in offline mode. You can just disregard it altogether. Yeah. Just stay in offline mode altogether, because also if you are in online mode, it's just constantly checking the servers, and it just takes forever when you go in a menu sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, you can avoid it.
Okay.
And I would be interested to hear your opinion on the gameplay, because there is a story section fairly early in the game that addresses the end of Ground Zeroes, and I would love to discuss that with you at some point.
Okay. Well, maybe I will have to throw it in.
So yeah, number 4 for me, Metal Gear Solid. My number 4 was a 5.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that's what we're doing now. Which leads us to
number 3.
Número 3.
Very good.
There we go.
Very good. Rich, your number 3 game for 2015.
Since I have to do this, then my number 3 is a 6. Hey, look, I'm just, I'm peer pressure, man. Peer pressure. Forza Motorsport 6. The best racing game I've ever played in my life. I love it. Whenever I turn on my Xbox One to play something else, I always wind up, not always, but almost often, if I don't go right to that after playing a half an hour or whatever I am playing on my Xbox One, I go back to Forza Motorsport 6. It's the best racing game I've ever played. It makes you it gives you complete agency on how you want to experience the game. I never would have thought that I would have A, wanted to, or B, been capable of playing a game like Forza at a level of expert, but because it does such a wonderful job of giving you every little bit that you need to really learn how to play the game well and make it fun while doing so, I'm now doing that. I've had a lot of fun playing online. I love how it integrates all your friends into the races. All of the things that Forza Motorsport 5 did wrong with pushing DLC, this game does right. I haven't spent an additional $1 other than the $60 I paid for the game, and I have tons of money and tons of tokens. I love everything about Forza Motorsport 6 top to bottom. It's spectacular.
Yeah, and it's another great example of, when you get past that whole hump that they had with Forza 5, where they just had no content. Once you put the content back into the game, you're back to that great Forza experience that a lot of us loved on the 360, where it's just super user-friendly in so many ways. And one of the things that I've been experiencing over the last months of last year was we actually started an online league at Player One, which it's on Wednesday nights, by the way, if anyone wants to come race with us for a while. The online setup is fantastic.
Yes,
you have a ton of options to set limitations, or however you want to for the different user races. So great package all the way around.
Yep. I mean, even if you don't love racing games, right? If you just have a passing interest in racing games, you cannot go wrong with Forza Motorsport 6. It has every kind of car to race. Whenever it does a great job of, okay, we sense that you have taken this particular category, like 3 or 4 races. Let's drop you into something completely different that drives differently, and let's put you someplace different and interesting and cool before we bring you back. It's just it's great.
But enough easy to understand options that you can nudge in various directions just to give you that little bit of confidence you need if you find that you just can't control the car.
Yep.
Without making it feel like the game is driving for you.
And the rewind, right? Like, let's face it, right? In a game like Forza, which is a very technical racer, you're going to make mistakes. And the ability to say, you know what, I'm going to make a couple of mistakes and not have it ruin the last 15 minutes, and be able to click rewind and learn from your mistakes and fix them in real time instead of having to be perfect, is also fantastic. It really is.
Absolutely. Good choice.
Well, thank you, sir.
Kevin, you're number 3 for 2015.
Senran Kagura. I'm just kidding. It's Metal Gear Solid 5, and this is a game that I did not finish, and
Me neither.
I put in about 27 or 28 hours into it, and I got to the point where it wasn't moving the story along fast enough. There was too much side stuff that I had to do to continue moving forward, and while I enjoyed it, it was just like I was kind of just losing my momentum to the point where I just didn't want to play it anymore. But the stuff that I did play was a lot of fun, and I won't talk about it too much since Greg echoed it, but yeah, like the systems work great. It actually is the best playing Metal Gear Solid of all time by far, and it has the crazy Kojima wackiness that you come to expect, like going back to Mother Base and then putting one of your new recruits in a chokehold and saying, "Oh, sir, thank you so much. Can I have another?" Almost having like sexual references when you're doing that stuff, and they just get pleasure from it. So, from that, and really my only down stuff on the game was just kind of how they, really the servers were all messed up when it started, so I had to manually disconnect from everything, and I think that's the best way to still play it, is just stay disconnected from their servers, because you can avoid all of the free-to-play stuff that they're doing right now, and at the same time, it just loads way faster, and it's a beautiful game. It is a showpiece for not only, I played it on Xbox One, and it looks ridiculous.
Fantastic, yeah.
Fantastic, and just a showcase for what these consoles are capable of, and hopefully we'll see, other developers, bring it, just like Kojima Productions did. So, still worth picking up.
Excellent choice.
Would you say it's the game of the year?
I would say it's like the third game of the year that's not a portable and that wasn't made in 2015.
Okay, that's fair.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Mr. Phillips' number 3 game was something we've already talked about on this show. It was Her Story.
There we go.
Phil.
Yes.
Over to you. Number 3 game of 2015.
My number 3 game is Godzilla.
Half of me wants you to be joking, and half of me really wants you to be serious.
No, I'm very serious.
Really?
This is my third favorite game of this year. Yes, indeed.
You don't care anymore, do you?
PS4 Godzilla. You know what? You know what?
Entirely with Rich.
That could have been used for Earth Defense Force, man.
That's number 1.
This could have been a game about, walking around discovering stuff, or
You have to say with a little more disdain and scorn than that, though.
Yeah.
or
All through the world.
kids in the woods getting killed. But nope. As a Godzilla nerd, I had a ton of fun with Godzilla on PS4. Just a huge selection of monsters to play as and fight as. City smashing fun, and yes, it's slow and plotting, which is what a big Godzilla fight should be. And going back to what you were saying earlier, Greg, about playing games with your kids.
Yep.
Finn absolutely adores this game, and sitting there playing that game with him, and then him asking to turn the game off so that we could play Godzilla in real life is fantastic. So,
that's awesome.
Yes,
Did it frighten him when you came out in your Godzilla cosplay for the first time?
Well,
we all know you have the rubber suit.
You know what? This is.
He's just a child, Phil.
This is the thing, okay? And this is why I don't tell you stuff like this, because you twist it and pervert it. I don't. And first of all, it's not called cosplay. It's called Kaiju Life. Okay.
Kaiju Life.
I don't Kaiju Life as Godzilla. I Kaiju Life as Mecha King Ghidorah. Okay, and I'll thank you to not confuse the two anymore. Okay.
Good day, sir.
The blowtorch was a little tough, but
and yes, Greg, it made him cry.
Got to get Finn a Gypsy Danger outfit.
But I would rather don't bring in that American abomination into my house, Larrabee. How dare you?
Pacific Rim is one of the best movies of all time.
No, Pacific.
God, we're not getting
Well,
into this conversation.
I'm not going to go down that road with you,
No.
Kevin. But I do enjoy that movie quite a bit.
Normally, when
There's a
the
guy
crazy
that's
train's
almost-
leaving the station, I jump on, but not this time.
There's a guy that his name is almost Nintendo. It's Tendo.
It's almost Nintendo. Jesus.
Like, did you just say Nintendo in a big movie?
Speaking of almost Nintendo, CJ,
Yeah.
what's your number 3 game of 2015?
Well, my number 3 game is a number 4.
Oh, Jesus.
That's right. It's Fallout 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love this game. I've been having fun playing it, although I really need to get back to it. I haven't played in about a month. But I really enjoyed going through all of the side stories. And in an open world game, it is rare that you get side quests that engage you in any meaningful way and that have like multiple quest lines or anything like that. And this does, with a lot of the companion characters that you meet along the way and the various factions that you meet along the way. And it's just a super interesting game. I think it looks great visually, even though the character models are not fantastic. It still works, and it's the kind of make your own fun game that I could get into. It's an open world game. Grand Theft Auto was never really a series that I had much affinity for, so I don't know. There's something about this game that has grabbed me, and I enjoy playing it. It's fun.
I'm glad you put it on there because it barely missed my list.
Yeah.
And I again loved it for all the same reasons that you said, so I'm glad you brought it up.
And it's a great remote play game on the Vita.
It is a good remote play game. I'll agree with that. I've done that a few times as well. All right, nobody has anything else to say, apparently.
Got to use that Vita for something.
True.
Suikoden. My number 3 game is another open world game, and that is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. That I've never played a Witcher game before. I don't even remember why I grabbed Witcher 3. It was somebody's recommendation. It didn't matter that I'd never played a Witcher game before because you don't need. I mean, I'm sure you get a little bit more out of the story if you are aware of what happened in the previous 2 games. My understanding was just a lot of sex, but this is what I have always wanted the Elder Scrolls games to be. I've tried the Elder Scrolls games. I spent a chunk of hours, especially in Oblivion. But no, not Oblivion. The first one on the 360. Was that Oblivion? Anyway.
Yeah.
It was Oblivion. I spent a lot of time in there, and I really liked what I played, but it just didn't grab me that well. But this one, man, like if you want sort of the swords and sorcery, fighting dragons and all that fun stuff, this is the game. It's so good. And you mentioned earlier, Kevin, talking about Just Cause 3, where the side missions are fantastic. They're just really great. They're as good as anything in the main storyline. That describes The Witcher 3. The side missions in the game are just like they're just as good as anything in the main storyline. In fact, it's hard. It's really hard to differentiate them from one. And they're all woven together. A lot of them are woven together in such a way. There's a quest line in particular which is just amazing. And you don't have to do the whole thing to get even the gist of the story, but if you do every associated mission, it's just incredible. Incredibly written. The characters are great. The animation is great. The world is fantastic. Like there's nothing I don't like about the game, really. Whether you're going on a side quest to find a werewolf or fighting a dragon or fighting ghosts or whatever. I mean, there's just nothing I don't like about that game. It's just fantastic. and you don't need to be a Witcher fan to play it. And anybody who hasn't taken the leap, I believe that the digital versions of that game are still pretty cheap right now. And I would highly recommend going and trying it out, especially where you're only going to pay like $20 or $30, because I think you'll be really surprised how much you end up liking it.
I think that's a game that a lot of the stuff this year is just there's so many gigantic games.
Yes.
It's such an intimidating game.
It is.
People saying 100 hours. So even when it was on sale on Steam for like $30, it's just like, yeah, I'm sure it's really good. There's other games that I would want to play though.
Yep. And that honestly, that is why it's at number 3 on my list.
Yeah.
And not number 1. Because it was a problem this year. There were a ton of games that were overwhelming, and I think all 4 of us, there are actually 5 of us here, I think all 5 of us probably fall into the same category where we don't have the time to spend 100+ hours on every game. But having said that, what's that?
Unless it's Rogue Legacy.
Unless it's Rogue Legacy. Having said that...
Wait a second. Greg, you told me that I had to play every single game before I would be able to come on this show.
Yeah?
That wasn't...
That was hazing.
Jeez.
You're a
I have a lot
sports
of-
guy. You understand hazing.
I got a lot of explaining to do to my wife.
We're done with number 3. That brings us to...
Number 2.
Numero dos.
Fantastic. Rich, you're up.
Number 2 on my list is the one sports game that I did allow myself to put on the list, and that is MLB 15 The Show. The greatest baseball game I've ever played. Everything about it is terrific. It not only does it look great and sound great, and it's the kind of thing where a lot of people are kind of tired of the commentary, so I actually turn the commentary off and just listen to the ambient sounds from the ballpark, which is spectacular. But of all of the sports games on the market, it is the one that I think best represents what the actual sport is, as opposed to the video game version of the sport. If you want to succeed at MLB The Show, if you're hitting, you have to be smart. You have to wait for the right pitch. You have to sort of anticipate what's coming, and if you guess properly, you'll be successful, and if you don't, you'll swing and you'll miss. If you're pitching, you can't just throw the same pitch over and over again. You have to understand who's up to bat, and if you're managing the game, you need to. Okay, it's the 7th inning of a close game. I got a good lefty coming up. I got to warm up my lefty in time so that he comes in warm and he can take this guy out. There's just so much about MLB The Show that is great, and the reason that it's my favorite is that they give you so many options. I've actually created a really fascinating way for myself to play a lot more games, which is I played a full 162 game season over the year, and I did it by using a feature called Player Lock that allows me to play the first 5 or 6 innings just as one guy. So I'll take 2 or 3 at bats, right, and I'll get through the first 5 or 6 innings in 5 or 10 minutes, and then I'll take the player lock off, and then I'll play the last 4 innings or so as the full game, the traditional way. So instead of playing a game for an hour, it's only a half an hour.
That's really awesome that it lets you do something like that.
And it's like something that I sort of self-discovered, right? It's not like a new feature. It's just sort of, let me try this out, let me try that, and then it allowed me to sort of create my own experience, and that really put it over the top. So, PlayStation 4 owners, MLB 15 The Show, just a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful representation of the sport. And it does such a great job of representing what baseball is and what makes baseball great. So that's number 2 on my list.
So when you turn on the commentary, is it just a bunch of guys wringing their hands over Jose Bautista hurting everyone's feelings? Or
that's all it is. All about bat
Sweet.
flips, just over and over and over again. It's kind of weird.
Love it. Go Canada. There's like one Canadian player on that team, I think. Okay, Kevin, numero dos.
Perfect. My monitor went to sleep. Okay, so this is a twofer. This is kind of like one package, though, so just bear with me for a second. So number 2 is a tag team lineup of Dragon Quest Theatrhythm and Rhythm Tengoku Plus. 2 outstanding rhythm games to the point where I played through Theatrhythm Dragon Quest twice. I went all the way to the end. I unlocked everything, got S's in everything. I went all the way back to the beginning and did it again. It is a great refinement on the Theater Rhythm series. It is a goddamn shame that that game has not been brought over here yet. Again, the 3DS could probably use some more games on it. It's a beautiful thing that we're getting Dragon Quest 7 and 8, but I would love to get Dragon Quest Theater Rhythm over here because Final Fantasy Theater Rhythm Curtain Call was also outstanding. And then with Rhythm Tengoku, like I had Rhythm Heaven on the DS, but I hated the touch controls because it wasn't super accurate. And same thing with like the Wii version where you had some motion stuff, but you could use some buttons as well. With this version of the game, there's buttons. You can use buttons instead of touch controls or the touch screen for every single one of the mini games. So you can make sure you have that digital response to everything that you're doing, which is way more satisfying, and it doesn't make you think like, oh, was that my fault or was it the hardware's fault that I did not hit that note or I did not get that rhythm correctly. And that game is, again, a blast. It's really, and that game has hit like, I think it's like 800,000 units in Rhythm Heaven Plus in Japan. So I would hope that maybe you got to think that's like a relatively easy game to bring over to the States in terms of localization. But it would be great to see both those games that, again, don't need tons of localization. And I've just, as you see, like I have 3 rhythm games on this list. I've just discovered that I really love music-based rhythm games that are not Hatsune Miku in terms of like what I play, because those Hatsune Miku I don't find fun very, very much. Except for side third, Hatsune Miku, the one for the 3DS is actually really good. The DX one, it's a lot simpler and it's actually way more fun to play than the Vita version, or the Vita iteration of Project Diva. So check that out. It's something that's out now, but it's getting harder to find. So try to snag up a copy while they're still available at your store, or most likely probably just on Amazon.com at this point.
Hot off the grill. Or something like that. Mike Phillips' number 2 game for 2015 was the Uncharted 4 multiplayer beta.
There you go.
Which, of course, it was. Mike loves his Uncharted multiplayer.
Yes, he does.
Number 2 for Phil Theobald.
Transformers Devastation.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, I didn't have it on my list, but I knew you'd have it on yours.
Yep. Platinum, crazy character-based action game with a 80s Transformers twist. As we've discussed on the show, that's a beautiful-looking game. Perfectly captures that G1 Transformers feel. It looks like how you remember the show looking.
Not how the show actually looked.
If not how, a pretty crappily animated 80s toy commercial, but this is how you remember it looking. And yeah, it's got a bunch of the classic G1 characters and just some awesome, very satisfying combat. And really fun game.
And a really nice surprise too, because I remember that being shown at E3.
Yeah.
For like the first time, and you and I both having kind of the same reaction. It was like, wait, was that just Gen 1 Transformers? What was that? What was that? And how do I pre-order it?
Exactly. And it's really fun. Platinum carving up another winner right there.
Absolutely. Fantastic game.
Yes, indeed.
TJ.
Yeah.
Number 2 for 2015.
My number 2 game, this was tough. Number 1 and number 2 were very tough decisions. Really.
You should go see a doctor about that. Don't want both of them to be tough.
One's fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
If played correctly. Nerve issue.
Yeah, man your age, one of them's going to be tough, probably.
So true. All right. Super Mario Maker is my number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is a game that if 10-year-old me,
number 2.
Yeah, if 10-year-old me had this game, I would be spending hours and hours and hours making and playing. This would be my game of the forever, really.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I'm older and don't have the time to sit down and make and play so many levels, but it's still a great little toolkit to have, and to see the levels that other people have made and to play through those, and the ones that Nintendo has made are awesome. It's just an amazing release. It's amazing that they've done this on a console that many would consider dead. They're releasing basically a game to
Level maker?
a level. Well, yeah, I guess it's a level maker of Nintendo's most popular franchise, with some of the games that are my all-time favorites: Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers 3, Super Mario World. So it's just an amazing game, and I need to put more time into it. But I've had a lot of fun with this title.
And I'm
What
guessing
was really great, CJ, was watching you take on all of those levels that Dan Reichert made up.
for charity.
That wasn't
Seeing
me.
you, yeah.
No, that wasn't
Wait,
me.
what?
No.
That was from someone that was on the sidelines and who hasn't played a lot of that game. That was awesome to watch. To see Giant Bomb put those levels together, and then to see just the craziness that they could put together, and to see Dan Reichert try to play through that stuff. And I bought this game again for when my Wii U gets back, partially just because of Nintendo has done such a great job of curating more stuff now, giving people the tools to do that, and then also to just they're bringing over the stuff Areno is making in Japan for Game Center CX. They're making that available for people in the United
that's pretty
States.
smart.
That's wicked smart. And they have, if they did more stuff like that with developers and things like that, you can see developers are posting stuff on Twitter when they do stuff. That's really, really fantastic. They've done a great job building this after it's been released as well.
Indeed, they have.
Totally. And to release it in the way that they did with that special ideas book.
Yeah, that's great.
It was great. Yeah.
Still haven't played it.
You're missing
Sunset
out.
Overdrive as your 2015, 2014 game of the year.
My number.
That $100 was a great. Thank you so much for having me donate $100.
That was for the children, Maybe you should stop and think about them instead of yourself.
They should send me a free copy of Ratchet and Clank for
Yeah.
all I paid for that game.
Send you a free sick child. That's where I thought you were going with that for a minute.
What?
It was a donation to Extra Life that he's complaining about.
Jeez Louise.
No, it's just because you're a liar. Oh, that was the big problem I had with saying you were going to play it
I
after
played
I
it.
donated $100. It was, and
played it.
you let the kids down, which is the big thing. I didn't let the kids down. You did.
That hurts.
Uh,
Hurts on a lot of levels. My number 2 game of the year is Rise of the Tomb Raider, because I was the only person on the show I think that's actually played it.
yeah.
It's of course an Xbox exclusive. I don't think it did all that well. We talked about this earlier. Phil's. I think it was Phil. Who was it who said Tomb Raider was? Yeah,
That was my
this
disappointment.
year, which is totally legit. But I'll tell you what, man, it's a good game.
That's what I hear.
Man, it is a good game. And in a year where there were so many open world games, so many gigantic open world games with Fallout and The Witcher and Metal Gear and Mad Max even, which I haven't tried yet. Playing this game not only reminded me how much I loved the previous Tomb Raider game, which was awesome, but how much I love playing a linear third-person action game. There is some freedom to explore in this game, as there was in the previous one, where you'll kind of get to a hub where there are millions of little doodads you can pick up and gather resources so you can make new gear and things like that. But the game itself, when you get into the actual levels and missions, is linear. And it's just it was so refreshing, not only because it's a refined version of the previous Tomb Raider game, which was an incredible game, but, just to be able to focus on one goal and all the pluses that brings, I'm loving this game. I have not finished it yet. I'm loving every second of it. It's everything the previous Tomb Raider was, refined, and just so enjoyable. And it's too bad that it's only on Xbox, because I feel like I'm not going to get to talk about it with you guys forever, because I don't know that anyone's going to buy it at the end of next year. So
I'm buying it in 3 weeks. As soon as it's out on the PC, I'm going to pick that game up. It looks outstanding.
all right, well then you're coming on the show because I need someone to talk to.
Well, let's just call my phone, man. We can just talk at night. Just like
That's creepy.
Stuart
Bothered
lying,
to look
No,
up why
you
we say
had-
lying on his
Right.
stomach on his bed.
What you
laying
should
his
do,
back in
man.
the air. What you think about, Kevin? I don't know. Tomb Raider.
Laura,
Costume
Raider
is she
stuff.
wearing?
Lara.
She's got lots of different outfits to wear in this game. This brings us to
Number 1.
Numero uno.
nice. Rich, what was your favorite game of 2015?
Star Wars Battlefront by a landslide.
Nice.
My son and I play it every day. I had zero expectations for this game. Wasn't even planning on getting it. I love Star Wars, but I'm not, a big Star Wars guy. And then again, thanks to EA Access, right? I was like, oh, well, might as well try it out. What's the harm? And my son saw it, and then 10 hours later, which felt like 20 minutes, we're like, wow, okay, got to get this thing. And we play it every single night. It is the perfect game for the two of us to play. We play in the multiplayer where there's no, I don't know if I did something or whatever, but I don't hear anybody ever talking. We're just all running around,
It's one of the best
blasting,
parts.
Perfect.
we're blasting each other's with lasers, and we're playing Walker Assault, and we're we're like running under these AT-ATs, and it's just like amazing. And then some heroes show up sometimes with lightsabers, and then when we're done with that, then we play Fighter Squadron, and we're flying through the air in TIE fighters and X-Wings, and it's just unbelievable. And then when we feel like, just a bit of a challenge, we go play Survival, and we, up the level difficulty. When we're playing multiplayer, we just, he'll get a life, and then he'll pass it to me when he gets killed, and I'll play, and then I'll pass it to him when I get killed, and like, ever since the first night that we play it every night before bed for half an hour, 45 minutes. I mean, it is the perfect game for the two of us. It looks fabulous. The sound is tremendous. It's a legitimate Star Wars game. I know a lot of people can't stand it because it's not the game that they want it to be, but it is exactly the game for me and my son to play every day. We absolutely love it. It is no doubt my favorite video game experience of the year, and I have a feeling it's going to continue for many months ahead.
And I echo everything you said. It's not my number one, but everything you said I agree with. And my son and I have had a blast playing that game together. It's actually kind of cool because my nephew got an Xbox One, which is the first real game console they've had in their house for quite a long time. And he actually played the game at a friend's house. So today was his birthday, and one of the things he got for his birthday was Battlefront.
Nice.
Xbox. And I told my brother, like, sit down and play this with him,
Yes.
because I think you'll be in for a treat.
It is a wonderful game playing together, or like I said, we just pass the controller back and forth. When he gets killed, then it's my turn. When I get killed, it's his turn. When we do survival, he likes to try it, but he still can't take out the ATSTs in survival, so he'll give it to me when those guys show up.
Nice.
It's just, man, and even like we just keep discovering new things. Like for a while, all he wanted to do was play Blast, which is like the version of Deathmatch, right? But then lately, like I said, we've been playing some Walker Assault, been doing some Droid Run. The big battles, where there's like 20 versus 20, it's just mass chaos, and it's great. Like I said, I mean, I know a lot of people had problems with it. I had zero problems with it. It's a wonderful game for the kind of game that I'm looking for. You know what I mean? It's just great. We just have nothing but fun the whole time.
Good pick. Kevin Larrabee, your favorite game of 2015?
This was at the buzzer, but I'm gonna be 30 in about 17 days, and I don't ever wake up thinking first thing I think about is playing a video game. It doesn't happen anymore. The last week or so, I've been going to bed.
It'll come back quickly.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Okay. Like going to bed at midnight, and the last thing I'm doing is closing my 3DS. And then, like this morning, I was up at 4:30 because I couldn't sleep because I wanted to play more of The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask 3D on the Nintendo 3DS. And this is a very special game because I've had, let's say, 5 false starts with this game across the Nintendo 64, the GameCube version, having it be re-released on the Wii Virtual Console, and I've probably tried multiple times having like the GameCube disc and stuff, and it just never clicked because it felt like a bizarro Zelda world to me. Like it felt like it is. But it was such a turnoff to me because I'm like, this isn't the Link that I played with, and even though like the timeline says it is, like this isn't the world that I want to continue from. I want to be in Hyrule. Like that's where Link should be, and those are the characters and the worlds that I want to interact with. But once I had a grasp of the mechanics of the game, after I understood how to really work around the 72 hours that it gives you, or really, I guess it's 72. I guess what is it like? It's 30 minutes. Is the 72 hours, and then learning how to extend that to an hour by playing the Song of Time backwards, learning how to leverage that stuff, figuring out what I get to take back with me through time, and then how to then reset myself for when I want to go into dungeons. Once I did that, this game made so much more sense to me, and then I was able to enjoy just the unbelievable like stuff that they were able to do in this game that they haven't done in other games in the series, and it made sense why people who love this game really love it because it is so different. It's such a side story, and it gives you the ability to have, or it gives you abilities that you haven't gotten in any other game, like getting the masks and being able to do, like the Zora mask is the best because you get to swim super fast, you get to basically walk around from the bottom like of worms that are filled with water or the ocean, and you get an awesome like boomerang attack. It's just really, really a blast. The boss battles have been, I would say every one of the boss battles has been better than anything in Ocarina of Time. And that might just be because it's the first time I've done it, but I literally just went from Ocarina of Time right into this game and just have had, it's not better, it's just different. And along with that, you've had just so many great callbacks. Like you go into the Zoras, like the Zoras are now in this section, this community of Zoras. They actually are in like an opera house, and like you go and you talk to the Zoras as you're getting ready to do what you need to do, and they're rehearsing in their room separately. Like everyone that plays the individual instruments, and you'll walk into their room, and they're playing like music from the original Legend of Zelda, like the dungeon music and the overworld music. And like the music and the menu, like when it's like, like it's so good. And like I swear to God, like before I came on to record, I was playing this game. When I've had free time, I've just been opening up my 3DS and playing this game, and it is just an absolute delight. And it's because of everything that CJ said before, of the improvements that they made to this game. They made it playable for people in 2015. They made it manageable, and they removed a lot of the stress that made me so turned off from this game in its original iterations. It's fantastic.
I agree with that. I agree with all that. It's a great game.
What game were we talking about?
Jesus.
Senran Kagura.
Yes.
So Mike Phillips, #1 game, and this is something that I bought over the holidays, and I'm definitely going to be playing in the first half of this year, I hope, is the Life is Strange series.
I bought that too.
Yes. Yeah, that is now complete, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And it was fairly, well, it was discounted over Christmas. I don't know if it still is or not. I'm not sure if the sales are still going.
Now, is that available in like a box copy or anything, or is that all still?
I don't know if they released a box copy or not.
I don't think they have. No.
No. But that was his #1. Phil Theobald. Your number
Yep.
one game of 2015. That's
Mario
what I
Maker.
figured. Yeah.
Yep.
I was
Mario
going to call
Maker.
that when CJ mentioned it, but, you know.
Yeah. You want to leave some suspense?
Yeah.
Nope, it's Mario Maker. For what it represents, just as much as what it is. It's as pointed out when that game was announced. That was something that I believe I said on the show was something that would never ever happen. Wouldn't it be great if? But there's certainly no way that Nintendo would allow such a thing to exist. But here we are, and it is wonderful and easy to use, and the results you get are fantastic, and yeah, just everything about it is it's a wonderful, wonderful game. So much so that Kevin felt the need to get out of here. Kevin just upped and left. Yeah.
It's all those energy drinks he's been drinking throughout the show.
already said his number
yeah,
one.
that'll do it.
Gotta stay hydrated.
Chris C.J. Johnston,
Yes.
the secret turtle himself. Number one game of 2015.
Can you guess?
The
Can you guess
entire
what it
Adult
is?
Swim games catalog.
Guess what it is?
Monsters ate my condo.
No. Damn it. I should be able to.
You should.
Splat.
Splatoon?
That's correct. It's Splatoon. I think what makes this game so interesting is that it's a genre that Nintendo really hasn't tackled ever, really, themselves. And they did it so well. They made a competitive multiplayer game that is fast to play. I mean, the rounds are like, 3 minutes long? So even if you're losing, you're not losing for very long, and you can
Which
jump
is super
right back
important,
in.
actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to get discouraged when a game lasts 10 minutes and you're losing for more than half of that. Yeah, it can definitely get discouraging. I'm glad that it doesn't have voice chat because because everyone's on an even playing field. Nobody's in party chat or anything like that. And you kind of have to come up with your own strategies, but also
I kind of miss the racism though that we would get out of, or the homophobia, sexism.
I don't miss any of that. None of any of that.
Real, Phil. I like to keep it real.
I just.
But you watch on the minimap what your teammates are doing, and you can effectively help them and come up with a strategy on the fly. I mean, I think it uses the gamepad really well, and then it shows the map of the whole area. You can kind of, when you're in between deaths, you can get an overview of what exactly is happening in what area you need to go to. I love the variety and number of weapons and outfits that they have made for this game, and that they have continually updated this with new content almost every week since its release. I think we're at the point now where it has 15 or more maps.
Wow.
So, and they have gone through and refined the maps and updated them multiple times. It's just a really, really fun game. The characters are great, even though they don't speak at all, except for the shopkeepers in the town and the two hosts of the game that give you the news report on Boot Up, which I know you love, Greg, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're into it. And the Splatfest that they've done, they've really done a good job like making events out of this game. And I haven't gone back to play it in a while, but because the last time I did, I was really rusty at it. But they've just made, if you bought this game, you definitely got your money's worth out of it by the amount of content that Nintendo has continually added to it. And I love that trend in games. I love that it does not stop when you have purchased the boxed copy. And I totally get the idea that, in 20 years' time we're not going to be able to revisit some of this stuff, but I think that's just the reality of gaming in 2015, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's too bad, but you're right.
But fortunately, as a consumer, that means that your $50, $60 purchase gets extended, and that you can go and replay it months later and get new stuff out of it. So,
and it's not every game either.
It's not every game.
It's some games are going to be completely accessible 20 years from now, like they are now, and some aren't. Like, is anyone going to be playing Star Wars Battlefront in a few years? No, it's an online-only game, but it's spectacular what it's doing. But there's other games that aren't. So, it's interesting that the technology that we have today allows these kinds of things to exist where they couldn't exist before.
Yeah, and I wasn't like saying that necessarily. My thing with the other stuff before was just like releasing games and like not having them be finished.
Yeah, in a broken state or something.
Yeah.
Which Nintendo, I mean, the games that Nintendo have put out and then updated have generally not been as broken. Maybe
Splatoon is not the case whatsoever, and I hope you'll play more of it so we can play together. I'd be happy to jump in some games if you can show me the ropes.
Dude. Yeah, definitely.
I will open this up.
You should. I mean, the single player also is just really, really fun, with one of the most amazing and longest end boss battles that I've ever experienced in games. Just really, really fun. And yeah, it's a shooter from Nintendo. Who would have thought that would even happen? And that it's as good as it is awesome. And hey, new IP from Nintendo. That doesn't happen very often either. So good to see it. I'm sure we'll get a sequel to it on the NX, or I'm sure this is not the last that we've heard.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, it's done quite well all over the world, hasn't it? So
yes.
Yeah. It already has a sequel name for itself. It's SPLATWON.
You really lost that thread there for a second.
I was thinking, how do you spell two?
Spell two?
TOOTOTWN.
There you go. But yeah, if you've not played it and you own a Wii U, what is wrong with you? Really?
I bought this game because of you and Phil. Like, I bought this because you guys talked about this game so much, and I'm looking forward to playing it. I needed to get over just the aesthetic of it, and man, it's not Call of Duty, but
Duty.
I like the fact that we're getting some different styles of art and gameplay in shooters.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, Uncharted 4 multiplayer beta, that has a different vibe than Call of Duty did or Halo did. Splatoon, same way. Plants vs. Zombies, Garden Warfare, same thing. Like, I love that there are now enough games in the genre where there is really a lot of difference and variety in gameplay.
Not since the Dreamcast. It's like the Dreamcast is back again. No, it's like Outrigger.
Outrigger, yeah.
Okay. So I'm the last to go here, and I'm figuring you guys are probably able to guess what I'm going to say here for my number one game.
NASCAR.
Zoom, zoom.
I think Rich is on the right track. Yeah, it's Forza Motorsport 6. Everything I wanted 5 to be, which I've said on this show many times. Turn 10 is back. They've done exactly what they should have had the first time around, and I feel like they weren't given the time to do properly the first time around. Even when they've started doing the microtransaction thing, I still feel from this game valued as a customer, which is a huge part of it. It's always been a huge part of the Forza experience, not just the racing, but valued as a customer. It's got an incredible community surrounding it, where you've got this huge painting community that's doing liveries that they've built. They've taken what grew out of just a feature that they had a few games back, and it's now a major part of the game. Every time you buy a car, the first thing it does is downloads thumbnails of the top 10 liveries for that car, and do you want to buy it with one of these? Yes, thank you. Just little things like that, which, it gets the community members' names out there in front of everyone in the world whenever they buy a car in the game. Still tons of car packs, still tons of gifts from the game. The game awards you credits. Like, even though there are microtransactions, you're just so steeped in credits in that game at all times just by turning it on that you never need to spend that money, which is, I don't feel nickel and dimed by that game. And then, on top of all that, it's a fantastic game. It looks incredible. It plays great. Like we talked about before when Rich was talking about this game. You're only ever a little setting tweak away from making the experience feel perfect for you, which is great. It doesn't ask its players to change the way they drive to have fun. It's got a deep enough options settings that it can be tailored to you, which is great. And it's got the content that it didn't have for 5. So I can't say enough about it. It was, for a while, it was really tough between Forza Tomb Raider and The Witcher 3 as far as what my number 1 was going to be. But I love those other 2 games, but Forza is the game that I pick up when I don't really know what I want to play. I turn it on, I pick it up, and I'm only ever going to have one race, and then 2 hours later, I have to put the controller down and go to bed. It's what 5 should have been, and it's a triumph for Turn 10. I can't wait to see what they do with 7.
Hear, hear.
So that is our top 5 games of 2015. We have a couple more categories we want to do real quick before we say goodnight, but I am going to do a quick recap because why not? Rich's top 5 games of the year: Star Wars Battlefront, MLB 15 The Show, Forza Motorsport 6, Super Mario Maker, and Need for Speed.
In reverse order, that's correct.
Yeah, I'm going 1 to 5 here. Kevin's number 1 game of the year: The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D, a tie, Dragon Quest Theatrhythm, Rhythm Tengoku Plus, Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain, Just Cause 3, and Persona 4 Dancing All Night, because Persona 4 gets all the awards.
Yeah.
Mike Phillips, the absent Mike Phillips, is number 1 game of the year. Life is Strange, the entire series, the Uncharted 4 multiplayer beta, Her Story, Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, and Star Wars Battlefront. Phil, my man Phil.
Yes.
Number 1 game, Mario Maker. Transformers Devastation number 2, Godzilla, because he loves playing it with his kid, and what better reason is there? Splatoon.
You don't have to.
No, I'm agreeing with you. No, I'm totally agreeing with you. Splatoon and 3D Outrun.
Yes.
CJ, number 1 is Splatoon. Super Mario Maker, Fallout 4, Until Dawn, Rock Band. I'm surprised there aren't more Nintendo games on that list. Just saying.
Why?
What kind of Nintendo cast is this?
He had it in other categories. He had Majora's Mask in there, so. And Ocarina of Time.
That's true. And for me, Forza Motorsport 6, Rise of the Tomb Raider, The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, and F1 2015. Number 6, NASCAR 2015. Just kidding. Number 6 was Transformers, by the way.
Oh, really?
Before we go, so we all buy lots of games. We all buy games that we don't play for a long time. I know I do. Rich, what 2015 release, now that 2015 is over and gone,
Yep.
what 2015 release do you wish you'd played that you didn't play?
Life is Strange. I'm going to get that. I'm going to get that soon, and I'm going to play that soon. And the other one is Until Dawn. Those are the 2 games that I based upon hearing what I've heard about them from the people that I've heard about them, people that I respect their opinion. Those are the 2 that I will definitely get to. And I don't play a large volume of games anymore. So I have to be much more selective, and that's why those 2 are at the top of that list.
Cool. Kevin Larrabee.
I have about 150 hours right here, and that's in the form of Xenoblade Chronicles 3D on the 3DS and Xenoblade Chronicles X on the Wii U. And these have... I don't really need to talk about them. They're gems, and they're gems for a reason. They're incredibly well-reviewed, well-loved, and obviously, Xenoblade Chronicles X has pushed every last bit out of the Wii U console and the hardware itself, and it just looks beautiful. The soundtrack's great, and the soundtracks on both these are outstanding. So these are 2 that I'm going to open up, and I'm going to leave this near or in my 3DS at all times to chip away at it, and whenever I'm at home, since the Wii U is now my home console, it's going to be Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Nice. Phil.
I wish I had more time to play Dragon Quest Heroes, The World Trees Woe, and The Blight Below, and the glistening sun on the newly driven snow. And have you seen what lurks below when the time has come to say hello?
Wow.
Okay.
There you go.
I wanna
That's the
play
full
that
title.
too.
Full
CJ.
unedited title.
It's a Japanese title.
CJ.
Yeah, I wish I had bought that Dragon Quest Heroes game during that price glitch on Amazon. That would've been good.
Yeah, $20, baby.
Yeah. But I wish I had had more time to play Just Cause 3. I think I decided between the open world games that I had going and just went with Fallout 4 instead. But I definitely want to get back to Just Cause 3 because I was having a lot of fun with it in the couple hours that I have spent with it. And yeah, that's my answer.
And my answer is exactly the same as Rich Grisham's. I'm sort of disappointed that I didn't find the time to play Life is Strange and Until Dawn, based entirely on you raving about it, CJ.
That's great.
I do need to.
That's
get
a game you can't play with your kids, though.
No, it is not.
I mean, it's a game CJ can play with his kid.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
a game
It's like,
you
wow, it was getting really serious. We had to put
play with
Cheryl
yours.
in the room for a few
Yeah, but
minutes.
one more episode of Breaking Bad first.
Exactly.
Final question before CJ takes us home, because my daughter's started crying and I can't leave her doing that. Most anticipated game of 2016, Rich.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of anticipated games. I really and I've talked about it quite a bit. I think not so much here, but certainly on like the Dodcast. I really don't, until a game is even out, I don't even care about it because I have such a huge backlog of games anyway. Like I'm never at a loss to play something. So with all of that being said, I know there's a new Fire Emblem coming next year.
There's two of them.
Two.
Okay.
There's three of them.
Well, three. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that I'm going to anticipate that because I've loved Awakening so much. But there's also this game I've heard of called Firewatch that, again, sounds like it's not just the same old thing. I really enjoy these days more often than not something that's not the same old thing. So those are that's what's on my radar.
Nice. Kevin.
It's not going to come. Well, this is actually a tough one because it would be Persona 5 if I could play it on a portable system. And it's just not going to be a game that I'm going to wait because Persona 3 and Persona 4 eventually made it to portables, and who knows if we'll get another PlayStation Portable or if it's on the NX, which it's not like a PlayStation 4 exclusive or a PlayStation exclusive. It's just what they're putting it out on, and Nintendo could probably use some games for that thing. So if it comes out on the NX, it's Persona 5, but otherwise, since the first time they showed it, I've been just blown away by The Legend of Zelda Wii U, whatever it's going to be. And, of course, coming off of the discussion that we've had today between me and CJ, and like we talk a little bit about it on the Back of My Play episode, but I think Zelda encapsulates what is Nintendo magic more than almost any other franchise that they have. It always a game series that's full of innovation, even if there is, some kind of same, I guess
Even
you
if
would
it's
say
familiar?
yeah, it's familiar. There's the same like mesh between the series, but for this, everything that we've heard is that they're shaking it up, and I think CJ brought it up in the episode. I don't know if you want to reiterate that, but something along the lines of like they've delayed it because they figured out something that they want to like make sure they put in it or something like that.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
said
I don't know.
Aonuma said they made some kind of breakthrough and they
Yeah.
wanted to explore. So I'm very curious to see what that is.
Right, and like it looks beautiful. It just a great looking game, and if they can take a new spin on it and have it still have that magic in there, there's no way it's not going to be like outstanding, like 10 out of 10, close to that type of stuff. So it's those two, but there's a caveat for the first one.
Fair enough. Makes sense. I'm with you. RPGs on a handheld are much more likely to get played. For
Yeah.
me.
Well, like it took me 4 years or 3 years to beat Persona 4. That wouldn't be in and out of a console. It's only happening because it's on my Vita at all times.
Philip.
Is Crackdown 3 coming out this year?
Next year, yeah. This year, yeah.
No.
It is.
I'd say probably not.
I would. Power bet.
Power
Okay.
button
Dreams.
do it.
Ideally, I would say Crackdown 3, but
And you can play Tomb Raider.
yeah, I know, right? Let's instead let's go with Gravity Rush 2 / Gravity Rush Remastered.
Yep.
So that's
Love that game.
I'm cheating a little bit and throwing 2 titles in
I'm,
there.
I'm totally going to cheat when it comes to my turn as well.
So
Gravity Rush was great.
Yeah.
I love Gravity Rush. I can't wait to play it again on the TV,
So good.
and I can't wait to play a new one. So love that game.
TJ.
Well, there is a little game from Adult Swim Games and Double Fine called Headlander, which
Thought you'd get through this episode
Yep.
without an ad, but here
That's
it
right.
is.
We went almost 3 hours.
That's a
That's
good
right.
choice, though. That game does look pretty dope.
I will say, I mean, I'm the producer at Adult Swim for this game, so maybe I'm a little biased, but I mean, working with Double Fine on a game that is kind of a Metroidvania-ish game, and with their humor and their art and design, and working with Lee Petty, who did Stacking as well, and was a director on Broken Age. I mean, they have just been amazing to work with, and this game is amazing. Like, we get new builds of it, and I'm just consistently amazed at the stuff that they're doing. And the game is so much fun. I'm playing it now, so I don't have to wait. But it's going to be awesome when it comes out in the middle of 2016. And so yeah, that is my most anticipated game on a personal level, maybe. But if you've not seen the trailer, definitely go to YouTube and check out the trailer for Headlander, because it looks so good. And aside from that, I'm going to say Zelda Wii U also, because you know, I've liked all of the glimpses that they've given us on that game, but I am very curious to see what the new Nintendo has in store for that title. And by that I mean, you know, they support their games after launch with a whole bunch of content. And what does that mean for Zelda? What does that look like in a Zelda game? I'm super excited for it. Can't wait, and I'll buy it whether it comes out in 2016 or 2017 or 2018, whenever they want to put it out. Fine, whatever system they want to put it out on, fine. If it's an NX launch game, I will be there. I will be buying the NX and Zelda, and yeah. And I'm also looking forward to Twilight Princess HD.
I was just going to say that, yeah.
too. Everything Zelda, and then Headlander, of course.
Metroid and Zeldas.
That's right.
All right. Well, a couple of games that I can't believe one of them none of you mentioned, but that I will be dropping everything to play when they come out. One of them is Uncharted 4.
Yeah.
And one of them is Mario Paper Jam.
Well, that comes out in 2 weeks.
Yes, and I can't wait.
Yeah, me too. I'm ready for that.
Yeah, I'm. The sting of the most recent Paper Mario is still there, but
Well, this has been well reviewed. It's been out in Europe and Japan, and people are saying it is good. So,
so I can't. I'm so pumped for that game. It's taking a bunch of series that I love and mashing them together. So, and one of the game that I don't know that I'm going to be crazy about or not, but I can't wait to get my hands on it and try it out is Cuphead.
Yeah.
Just because of how it looks. Like, and I mean,
Yeah,
that's the same reason anyone's interested in that game.
Yeah, it's
obviously.
beautiful looking.
But yeah, I can't wait to see what that game is. Because I don't really know.
Well, you're not saying No Man's Sky? Come on.
or Forza Horizon
I am
3.
I am
think we're all buying
so
that.
fatigued by No Man's Sky at this
Yeah.
point.
Very fatigued.
I love the idea, but wow, it just needs to come out. I'm done hearing about it. But that's it. That is our 2015 wrap up. I'm going to let CJ do the standard outro, but I just want to thank all of you, especially you, Rich and Kevin, for coming on and taking part. Really appreciate that, you guys, and especially for all your help throughout 2015, coming on because it was almost always at the last minute, and you guys came on and did an amazing job as guest hosts. We always love having you guys on. We always love the discussion you bring to the show. So thanks, guys.
You're welcome, and the feeling is mutual.
I
love
miss
this
so
show.
much wrestling,
It's
Rich.
great.
Rich, I miss so much wrestling here. I would like to be as nice about it, but every Sunday night, pay-per-view.
Well, you know, they do have this thing called television that you can have on when you're all in front of your computer.
I'm a
No,
pro.
we don't encourage that.
I'm a pro. I'm not Greg watching Formula One recording the show. I'm laser focused.
Or those many times when Greg Ford is clearly tuning out and watching football.
But he's watching the Patriots or he's watching the Red Sox. So
Or
Greg can
playing
do
Call of
whatever
Duty.
he wants.
Or whatever. Yeah.
But anyway, thank you guys, and of course, Phil and CJ.
Whatever.
Yeah, sure.
You guys every week.
How dare you?
now, Phil and CJ, you can take it away.
All right, then. Alrighty, and that is our first episode of 2016. Hey, look, under 3 hours, just barely.
Well, Phil still has to do his outro, so
No,
don't.
we're not
Oh,
yet.
yeah,
you can
do.
get too excited.
Right. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1 Podcast on the Twitter, or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. There you'll find our email addresses, blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Seward, Generation 16 episodes also.
Soon.
Yeah. And a message board where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
If you'd like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by going to the iTunes Music Store. While you're at the iTunes Music Store, you can also invest $1.99
Cheap.
to pick up the Player One Podcast iPhone application. It gives you one-touch communication with us via the emails, the Twitters, the what have you. You also have all of our episodes ready to stream right to your listening device. And hey, Android cell phone, telephone users, the Player One Podcast iPhone application is available for your listening device as well for that same $1.99.
A good value.
Find that right over there at the Amazon Android Marketplace. We're also on Stitcher Radio. You can like us on Facebook. You can watch archived episodes of our show or check us out live most weeks on the youtubes.com/P1 podcast. Just follow our Twitter to find out when we will be broadcasting our next live show. If you've liked what you heard, and how could you can head over to patreon.com/P1 podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. It keeps CJ swimming in Fern Gully DVDs. Something got him really hooked on the idea this week. He just got this feeling,
That's right.
and now he's going to be picking up as many copies of that as he can.
Are the good Miyazaki films. Thanks, Phil, for pointing me in the right direction.
That's what I
Not
tried
buying
to
the
do.
Garbage.
Well, Princess Snow or Snore.
Billy Crudup,
Mononoke.
man, brings it.
Mononoke is a fine movie. It's just one of
Billy Bob Thornton's best performance of his career.
well, I'm not going to argue that. I'm just saying, out of the Miyazaki films, it's not one of my favorites.
I got two
that's
more yesterday, so I have.
Which
two
ones
more
did you
to-
get?
Castle in the Sky and
Oh, excellent movie.
NASA.
Nausicaa.
Oscar.
The Valley
Also
of the
great.
Dead. Wonderful movie.
That's like the movie that everyone talks about, isn't it?
Yeah, Nausicaa is really friggin' outstanding.
Well, I'll
And Castle in the Sky is just a lot of fun. Yes. If you have a couple bucks left over, head over to generation-16.com. Throw a few bucks at Stewart's empty wallet to help fund his fantastic web series Generation 16, which is all about the history of everyone's favorite runner-up, Sega.
Really, we're starting the year off like this, are we?
Specifically the Sega Genesis,
Hmm.
which is a fine system. I love my Sega Genesis.
Thanks, Phil.
CJ,
Yeah.
thank you for everything except 2015.
No problem.
Greg,
Yo.
thank you for everything involving 2015.
Oh, baby. Hey, I might be
Yeah.
going to GDC again next year, so
Oh, is that right?
ready yourself.
Okay.
I'll be there too.
Ooh.
I'm sure you guys will find plenty of opportunity to not call me and let me know.
Ouch.
No, I went now. I hung out with you the last time I was
That's
there.
right. That's
I'll
right.
call you,
that's
Phil.
right.
I'll be there.
Oh, look
Oh,
at
are you?
this. Oh, man.
Look
That is
at
going to be
this.
one banging hotel room.
Yes, indeed.
Just for the record, it'll be CJ's hotel room.
Right.
And of course, super special extra thanks to our wonderful, wonderful guests. Which one do I pick first? Because that clearly that one will be my favorite.
I got a copy of Splatoon.
Yeah, you're holding it upside down. How dare you? Rich
I will.
Grisham! Thanks so much, Rich Grisham!
You're welcome,
What
and
do
thank
find,
you.
Rich.
Well, as of today, January
Yes.
1st, I'm the new Chief Marketing Officer for Out of the Park Developments, the video game company that produces the fine sports strategy games Out of the Park Baseball and MLB Manager. Out of the Park Baseball is a PC game. MLB Manager is the mobile game, as well as Franchise Hockey Manager, the PC game. So that's incredibly exciting. I am delighted.
Hey, this podcast is not a place to shill your.
That's CJ's job.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
You guys have
But
any
it-
sort of robot unicorn management sims that we can...
I'm not putting anything out of the possibility. So, but no, it's really exciting. I can't wait. It's a new chapter in my life, and I've decided that now that I've made just a obscene amount of money writing about video games, and podcasting about them, that's,
Biggest disappointment of 2015.
So, but actually, it's great. These guys are fantastic. Many of your, not many, but I mean certainly some of your listeners play their games. They make terrific products, and it's a great opportunity. I'm bringing a few folks along with me to help out, including T.J. Larman and Adam Burnett, longtime listeners and participants in the Player One podcast. So, really excited, really looking forward to it. I'm going to learn a whole lot, and hopefully we'll make a big difference. So, thank you. I'm very excited.
Congratulations,
Awesome.
Rich.
Yes,
Yeah,
congrats.
congratulations.
And, of course, super special thanks to you, the listener, for joining us throughout this wonderful year that has gone. We look forward, to having you join us here in 2016. And what's that noise I'm hearing?
That's the sweet sounds of Majora's Mask.
Ah, okay. I thought I was hearing Madge Bunny chatting with us. Kevin Larrabee!
Hey!
Thanks, Kevin. Thank you for joining us again. We always love having you here. Tell the internet where they can find you.
Hey, guys. Well, first, it's just been a hell of a ride.
We don't say hell on the show.
It's been a bitchin' ride. And,
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
It's been great to talk about games with you guys this year, and I think I mentioned once, but you guys helped me recharge my batteries to continue doing back in my play when I needed time off, but to continue to keep playing games. You guys helped me do that, so thank you, and of course the audience that has been like super, super, super rad, and has given me good feedback and has been really awesome. Over the times that I've been on the show, so thank you, and apologize if you don't like the Fast and Furious, but it's one of the best franchises in the world for a reason. And also, you can find the Retro Game podcast at backinmyplay.com, with the most recent episode being Ocarina of Time with John Riccardi as well as Chris Johnston, and you guys. I've been getting lots of great feedback. It's already the most downloaded episode of 2015.
Wild.
Wow.
So,
All
and
right.
that was like in 3 days or something like that. And the shows actually continued to gain more audience even when I wasn't doing episodes. So thank you everyone if you've been listening to that stuff as well. And you guys brought a lot of great old EGM covering stories from E3 in Atlanta to John going out to Tokyo to see that game for the first time, or maybe it was in Kyoto. So. Really great stories from you guys, so thank you for bringing that to the table. And more episodes will be coming, so continue to check out Back in My Play. It's a pretty good show.
I would agree with that.
Yes.
Indeed.
So thank you.
Awesome. And that it?
We should do it all again next week. Maybe not all the awards again, but
Yeah. Hey, look at that. We're still under 3 hours. Just
well, let's
barely.
end it quick then. End it quick.
Barely. All right, next week.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
You know, I've put together a song for the new year.
Stop it.